Because you look like
Greetings
you
and
could do it going to bed
salutations.
early.
Okay, thank you, Barry. Talking. Greetings and salutations. This is
Oh,
the 19th of the 2nd, 2025. Burning Path. We're rolling, and yes, we are playing D&D 5th edition. I'm RKDM. Next to me is Barry Tahira. Below me
hello.
is then we have Christina, and we have Avery. Um, Yes, so we're in a city called Gate at present, and our dear players, well, they've been up to all sorts of hijinks for the last while. Current hijinks involves Queen Claresca of Scartabel and an army from Dagdagile, from whence they came. They're not natives of Gate. They have come here to party. No, not really. What,
Assist in political intrigue.
to assist in political intrigue. There we
And
go.
some small amount of partying.
And some
Yeah,
small amount of padding.
yes, that's true. We bring our own band as well.
Right. Right. So, where did we leave you in the specifics?
We left Thornell getting ready to give the great speech of all time.
Actually, we were heading back to the Daughters of Twilight, and we were going to talk to Iolanthra about the fight that just happened.
Yeah, because
Because
they
it,
tried to
I had to think of all the
barricade.
violent stuff.
And what was the fight that happened?
well, the
The
bear.
bear Kyle tried to kidnap us with a monster carriage.
Oh
Yes,
no, with a monster carriage. That's terrible. Who are these evil Barakyle that think of these things?
basically they come from your brain. Um,
That's a concern, isn't it?
yeah, it worries me a bit about you. Yeah.
It's lucky I don't have any kids.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I
If you
didn't
Right.
want to
had
say that, but okay.
if you had kids, you'd be bringing them up and letting them pick out monsters on a screen on your end as to what to throw at us next.
Yeah, probably worse things than that. Yeah.
I've heard some really good stories about like the DM letting their kid or somebody's kid just do stuff, and in a couple of cases, like in at least one case, got rid of a problem player because the kid was like, "No, I'm the captain of the guard. You did this illegal thing. You're going to face consequences for that." And total like, hey, he's
Just
he's in
playing his character,
character.
man. He's just
It's like
playing his character.
he's just playing his character. I didn't do that. What he
It's
said is
always
right.
it's always the best excuse, isn't it? He's just playing his character. Yeah, well, why did you make an asshole for a character?
Yeah, it's like, who made that character?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think what they'd be like with more than one Ruffle in the world.
Ugh.
Well, I feel like they would instantly have this rivalry going on, having to one up each other.
Either that or we'd work together and we'd be like, I don't know, taking shifts or something.
Mm. No. You take shifts, and then you have a third shift where you're in a rivalry with each other.
Right, there you go.
Because sometimes you need somebody to compete against to really push yourself that much further.
Right, right.
And then
Well,
his son would come and live with me because he just about did. Mm,
scary.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you're in Vangate. You've returned to the Daughters of Twilight after your carriage incident.
Mm.
Um, it's late in the afternoon, I think. Sound right?
Yeah, it sounds right.
So you're moving through the crowds on your way back to the Daughters of Twilight. We might get perception checks. Do, 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 do. Um,
Well, that's an 8 for me.
an 8. Well,
At least it wasn't a nat 1.
true, true. I'm just pulling up Barry's character at the moment. my collections. Oh, this is a little bit annoying. Where's it gone? Campaigns.
It's probably gone look for my sister.
Hmm.
Oh, by the way, Russell, Joe says hi.
Oh, okay. When did you see Joe?
I talked to her today.
I see.
She said at some stage, if you wanted her, she might be interested in having a go.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Might be interesting, like if we had a particular story we could get.
Storyline.
If
Yeah.
there was a particular story, might be fun to bring her in for a couple of sessions so that
Yeah.
she could meet our characters.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Ren, you're making a perception check. Your perception is at +5. That is a 16 for 21. Right. As you're moving back to the Solanor Temple through the city of Vangate, and are you traveling by wagon or on coach or by
Are
foot?
you kidding me? I never want to go near another wagon again.
Coach.
I
We don't
think
want to go near another coach.
So you're
Oh, yeah.
walking? You're walking?
probably
Yeah.
walking. I feel like.
That's fair. Okay. Um, you get the sense that the crowd is a little bit tense, and there's a little bit of talk about um, something about a Yaka's strike. So yeah. Anyway, you get back to Solidor Temple
Okay.
and you go inside, and
Okay.
it is Solidor Temple and all the things that are there that you expect to be there, typically.
All
Hmm.
right.
Right. What'd you like to do? Are you going to go directly to Ialanthra? Was it the plan?
I think, given how busy she is, it's probably best to just send a message that we need to talk to her and it's somewhat urgent.
I see. All right.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like we want to talk to her today, basically, but it's
Not
not
happening.
urgent. It's not going to be like, hey, go bang on her door, interrupt whatever she's doing, because
Right.
it's not going to magically like
Get
be
better.
more effective to interrupt her.
Reasonable. Okay. So you spend some time doing your own thing then, probably for
Okay.
like an
Yeah.
hour or two.
Okay. So yeah,
Um,
short rest.
sure.
Yeah, short rest, tidy up a bit, clean up a bit, maybe.
A short rest. A short rest. I
Clean
see
up a bit,
Barry's down hit points a little bit here.
clean
So am
my
I.
sword. Yep.
Oh, let's see, I'm down like
Let
34.
me roll you some paladin hit die. That's weird how it doesn't actually roll the hit die.
It does for
Oh,
me.
it did. There, it did. 26. Okay, yeah, it did. Okay, okay.
It
Short
doesn't for
resting.
me either. It doesn't roll.
Yeah.
Hmm,
I've set
weird.
it up to take a 3d6, sorry, 3d10 plus 6 short rest. And
Ah,
confirm. And
you never do 1d6 plus 2.
yeah, that's interesting. The first time I tried it, it worked, but it took like extra time to actually roll the dice and add the numbers and then throw the hit points in. And the second time I tried it to add more hit dice, nothing happened at all. Um, so yeah, fascinating.
Still
So I'll just
nothing.
So I'm just going to roll 3d6. So just mark them off and roll the dice
Yeah, and
manually.
remember too, he adds his Constitution modifier to each.
Right, true, yep. Um, 5,
Oh,
5, 16 plus con mod, 2, 4, 6. So that's 22. Okay. 22 heals. Still not enough.
Um,
Short rest. I guess we're going to do a whole bunch of these then. 1, 2, 3. And another 4.
Yeah, that did it for me.
Wait, what is the hit dice for a paladin? D10, right?
yeah.
Didn't mark off though. 34. There.
All right.
Okay, so you rolled 10, so that'd be time plus 10 times his con mod.
Right. So that's 10 times 2 is 20.
Fine.
So,
Don't do it. I'm
okay, we're finally back up to max. And that took like a lot of D10s. Okay. Alrighty. So you get back to Solanor Temple and you're hanging out waiting for Iolantha. Do you do anything in the meantime whilst you're doing that? Or you're
yeah,
clean
definitely
up.
clean up
clean up?
and sharpen the old sword
The sword is as sharp as it gets. It's a
and
Vorpal sword. You can
meditate on
you try to sharpen your sword and your sword sharpener breaks in half.
the Raven Queen.
Okay, yep,
Uh,
fair.
I need a guidance.
You need her guidance. All right, so you're praying to the Raven Queen.
Yeah,
I see. What about Sornel?
Um, he is meditating, but a bit less specifically. He does have the sword across his knees. He's kind of considering certain things. He's kind of opening himself up if Tozen wants to say anything about the situation, but Tozen only shows up when he wants to, so he's not really expecting anything.
Um, sure. I think you get the sense that Tozen is around, but he's not. He doesn't have anything to say exactly. So
That's
yeah.
fair. I kind of figured that'd be the case.
And Christina.
She's got her orb out and is filling it with new memories and checking to see if Aerosol has left her any messages.
Fair, fair. Okay. I'm sure that there is a continuous exchange going on between you that, you know, regards ancient things and memories and stuff that a lot of it doesn't have any bearing on the current storyline. So it's not, um, we could invent it if you want to. But I also don't want to slow the story down, but we can assume that a lot of it's there. And that you have that conversation. And if you do want to go through it at some point, we could do that too. But for the most part, um, it's all kind of centered on ancient times and things that have happened long ago. That's sort of stuff that you talk to with her. Okay.
With him.
Him, sorry. Yes.
Him.
Okay, so time passes, and eventually
I know another thing.
yep.
She needs to write Stannis. We still gotta resolve that problem.
You
Or
got
that
to.
it, with him.
Well, I think basically isn't given the way dragons experience time, like a lifetime with Stannis is only a human lifetime. It's basically snap of the fingers to a dragon.
Yeah.
He's
Nothing.
waited this
Yeah.
long. He's waited this long. He can
Mm-hmm.
wait. He can wait a few years.
Who, Status?
No, the what's her face? His face.
Aerosol.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
the
right, right.
dragon's like
Aerosol.
okay, a couple of decades. It's like for a dragon, what's that? Like 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I see your point. Yep. Okay. Um, right. So some time goes past, and finally there is a knock at the door that sounds like a cleric who's come to send a message. Who wants to get the door?
I'll go get it.
You get the door? Very well. Good evening, madam. Lady Iolantha.
Good evening.
Good evening. Lady Iolantha is ready to see you, if you will.
Okay. Thank you. I will get the others.
She just waits outside your door until you're all
I
ready.
go get, yep, I go knock on doors and tell the gentleman that
Collect all the
they should,
boys.
yeah, collect all the guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, long story short, you collect them and you head off to see Iolantha, and suddenly Russell realizes his vape's in the other room. So I'll be right back. 2 seconds. Okay. So you get to Lady Iolantha's rooms and her tower, and you are beckoned and summoned in.
Mm-hmm.
She turns to Ren. Greetings, my son.
Greetings,
How
mother.
do you, and how do you fare, all?
Well, we've had a run-in with the Wizards of the Barracuda.
She looks concerned. I see that you have survived this tussle.
Yes, they tried to trap us in a coach,
In a
and
coach.
it tried to eat us.
The coach tried to eat you.
Yes, it
A
all
construct.
sounds a construct. Definitely a construct.
I am not so certain of that. I am reminded of something that tried to eat Riand once, and I use minor illusion to produce an image of that chest that bounced along that tunnel.
Right.
It's like a still image, but still.
Right, right. Yep. I mean, you could create a series of still images to create. How
Yeah, but,
fast
like,
can you create still images?
One
Can you
every 6 seconds.
That's a very slow animation.
Yeah, it's like so. I'm not doing that, and it's like constant casting spells.
Right.
It's interesting. Like I mean, I don't know if I have silent image. If I had silent image, do I have?
Right.
Silent? I do not have. If I had silent image, I could make a moving one. But
You could
minor
make an
illusion.
animation.
Yeah, silent
Just
image
one.
can do animation, but not sound. Minor illusion can do a still object or sound.
Or sound, right. Okay. Okay. So you do the image of the mimic, and
Yeah.
Iolantha examines that and the thing, and she. Now, how do you? This is an illusion that you've made, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's just an illusion.
One of her scholars steps forward. And she bids her to sketch it.
I produce a few more. Like once she finishes the sketch, I produce it from like. See, it does last a minute.
The scholar does a extremely fast, not very realistic, but just like just sketches it out. Okay, so you go through that process. Now you've come to me for other reasons, I suspect.
Yes.
She looks at Lyssa and Tannel.
Well, we have arranged a meeting with the Regency in the morning. We wish to confer with you about that first, since there will be members of the Barrack Isle there as well.
That is true. That is true. Mm, 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 mm. And what in particular can I assist you with regarding the Regency and this trade that you intend to set up? Or agreement? I can't remember what were you doing again?
The
You're
soldiers
visiting.
outside the city?
Right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Well, in my case, I am concerned that the Barrack Isle attacking us in broad daylight might have consequences for the meeting in the morning.
Yes, that somewhat worries me too.
Tell me about this attack.
As we have mentioned, we got into a carriage. The carriage turned out to be alive. It dragged us through most of the city to the Barrack Isle Annex. We were able to free ourselves from it, but once we were outside and just before the gates of the Annex, we were set upon by several wizards and a collection of their fiends.
Hmm. What does this tell you?
They are brazen.
Indeed, this is a brazen attack in the streets of Vane Gate.
It also, but
They must be confident that they can get away with this.
it also implies to me a level of desperation.
That seems true as well.
It's a gamble.
Brazen and desperate. That seems true to the Barrack Isle. I see.
Our plan is we have arranged for a Paladin of Helm to be present to cast Zone of Truth on us. So that in order to add weight to our statements.
I see.
Actually, one question you might be able to answer given your experience. I am aware that under Zone of Truth you cannot speak a deliberate lie, but aside from people having their memories altered or some like, is there any way to fool Zone of Truth in case the Barrack Isle accuse us of doing such?
The only means by which one could fool a Zone of Truth, if it was cast properly, my child, is to not cast it at all, to cast something else.
Interesting. That is good to know. I worry the Barrack Isle would make false accusations against us.
Yes, it seems likely that they might try. I'll tell you what, I will send Skylar with you. She is equipped with such spells. I trained her personally. This way, you have at least one available option in order to have the spell cast from a reputable source.
Thank you, my lady.
One cannot be sure that a Temple of Helm Paladin can be entirely trusted if it is the Barrack Isle that have organized it.
Actually, we were having it organized through Lord Duncan.
Through Lord Duncan. Well, that seems like a better prospect.
But still, it is possible to intercept and, as well as impersonate.
Indeed, indeed. I could not disagree further. Sorry, agree more, rather. That's what I'm trying to say.
Understood.
Is there anything else of any assistance that I can give you? She'll make some small talk about things at the temple. Breakfast. Did you enjoy the new sponge cake?
Yeah, some small talk.
Yep.
The Barakal leader, do you know anything about him?
The one they call Gaius Lox Banastad,
Yes.
the ruler of Barakyle.
How did that happen?
You seem surprised.
Oh, really? I'm not surprised. I just want to know how it happened.
I cannot say that I am entirely sure. Lox Banastad's past is held in mystery. They say that he has walked the plains, that he has infernal powers and has stolen the wings of a fae. I've not met the man. I have not myself been to Barakyle. Few have. But his reputation certainly precedes him.
Some of our people have encountered him through a portal. I believe that we can confirm that he has wings that match the appearance.
Well, that is something. Information good to know.
All right. My next question is, who runs this city at the moment? And what information do you have on him?
Are you speaking of the Lord High Inquisitor Vorbus Dalranaz?
Exactly.
Another mysterious figure who I trace to the Veiled Ephemeris in this case, which is, of course, the one of the inner orders of the Barakyle. The Veiled Ephemeris act as their secret police, if you will. That is where he comes from. However, his past, again shrouded in shadow, few are aware. He has a story that accompanies him, but it is clearly made up. No one is as, well, let us say there are elements of his resume that seem extraordinary. Perhaps even beyond belief, at least beyond any mortal conception, which concerns me.
Concerns me too. All right. So he took over when Queen Cariska.
I say he is the nominal leader of Vaingate in the sense that he seems to be maintaining order behind the scenes. The official regency, shall we say, is made up of members of what I assume is the Market Dozen and a number of other nobles and princes and so forth from the city.
And each one of them, I bet, have spent time alone with our Barakal friend.
That does not seem unlikely, no. The Regency Council is comprised of High Wardens. High Wardens are Raynar Karkanos from House Karkanos, High Warden Valeria Raxthasis of Raxthasis, and High Warden Isabella Grenaldea, and High Warden Oric Gevnaron. Those are the primary members of the Regency, overseen by their puppet master and de facto ruler, Lord Grand Inquisitor Vorbis Daalranaz. It is for certain that there are other enablers amongst the nobility.
How has the city been doing since he's been in charge of it?
In my opinion, it has been stagnant. There has been little growth, little has been done. Certainly in the ways of public services, obstacles have been thrown in our way. Where once we were free to send our healers to the Vane Gate each dawn, the Barakyle seem to have curtailed this tradition, along with several others that have instigated some tensions amongst the populace. Simple things, mostly. Several religious practices that were once done upon the streets have been banned or removed. Certain shrines have been taken down and moved to more appropriate locations. This type of thing. No doubt you have. You know that they are, of course, sending expeditions into the Grey Roads and into the Forbidden District. These seem to be almost common knowledge these nights and days. But that is by the by. Our city is in the grip of these red devils. Subtle as it is. They have not caused large, widespread havoc as of yet. However, I think that is easily attributed to the fact that they are concentrating on their primary objectives, which appear to be the ransacking of the Forbidden District and the stealing of Ostorian wealth from the Moldrayan Protectorate and our elven kin.
They are rather sneaky little thieves, aren't they?
Indeed. Indeed. They have earned the ire of almost every people and nation across the world, and the few that do not burn with hatred for them seem to be their thralls.
That does appear to be the case.
There is one small matter of good news, though. I have heard a rumor that they have, on their archipelago of islands, begun to experience a type of sickness that has affected some of their young. It will be interesting to see how this bears out, if indeed it does. They seem to be unable to contain it with their magic. Odd.
Well, from what I understand, I do not believe that they have what you would consider traditional clerics as such. That, or at least what they call clerics, do not draw from power from gods. They draw power from something they call the egregore.
Yes. Indeed. A kind of collective fiend of their imagination. But yet it seems to have efficacy. Well, how do you say
Efficacy?
Efficacy. That's the word. Yes.
I am also given to understand that some of this power is obtained by feeding lives to it.
You see a slight withdrawal in her eyes as she recoils from the horror of the idea.
Yeah, just like, yeah, he's not happy about it either, but he's like, yeah, no, this is like, I don't know what it is, but it's real, something really messed up.
I suppose we all realized that we could get trapped in there.
In where?
At the meeting.
Hmm.
And
There is a possibility, I have to admit. However, if you are able to remove yourselves from the scenario and you are able to bring yourselves back to this temple, you'll be safe, as any damage can be reversed, I expect. I hope. But you will have to have the agency to do so.
yes. Okie dokie. Do we still consider this a good move?
I do not see that we have much other options.
Yeah, there isn't much choice, is there?
So out of game, well, you know what, I'll just stay in character. Now allow me to clarify precisely what it is you intend to do. You're going to go to the Regency and, as a delegation from Dagdagile, request to move your army to a defensive position about Vane Gate to assist the city and the Regency.
Yes.
I see. Well, I would be expecting to answer some very difficult questions, the least of which will be why an invading army would suddenly turn tail and become our protectors.
That's not a difficult question at all. Originally,
It might be a difficult question if you cannot directly accuse the Barakyle to their faces.
We did come up with the story that it was a rogue faction of the Barakyle that were acting.
Ah, indeed, yes.
Yes.
Well, I think then you are prepared as perhaps as well as can be.
Yes.
That does seem to be the case.
Yes. All right, I am gonna get you to pause for a minute. I have to go to the bathroom. So just add another few minutes at the end.
So yeah, this is going to be interesting.
They're gonna either let us leave or try to kill us. I vote for the trying to kill us.
I don't think they're going to try and kill us outright. I do think that what they're going to try and do is they're going to try and trap us politically.
Yeah. Definitely.
This is very inexpensive.
But if they do something, literally physical instead of political, or try to mix the two, we'll have to do something back if we can.
Of course.
Yes. Politically, Now, tell me something. Was the Empress under the influence of the Barakal?
Yeah,
She
they
had a worm in her head.
and she was addicted to Skargan blood.
So she was kind of out of it.
And you've seen the proof of this.
Sorna was physically there.
So was Alyssa.
Yeah. So as far as that goes, we've got the best two possible people. Like we have actual witnesses.
Good. Well, that can be part of our political excuse if everything goes bad.
That
Because
means
if
we'll
she
be
was under
blaming
the
the
influence of the
Barakyle.
Barakyle, yeah.
We
Another
can't
rogue
blame the
faction.
Barakyle.
Yeah.
We don't say who was influencing her. We say that she was
She
being
was.
we just basically say that she was being influenced. We
Yeah.
don't say who. And if they press us, we just look at them and say, "Do you really want us to answer that question under the effective zone of truth?" We don't even need to say it. We just need to look at them like that. Like, do you really want me to say that?
Like I said, I'm not the politician.
Oh, I mean, as far as this sort of thing goes, the average charisma in this group is stupidly high.
That would be you.
No, like Christina, Lissa has 18 charisma. That's that's like at the limits of human charisma. And Ren's got 19. Our average charisma is over 19. The average commoner has like 10 charisma.
Yeah.
18?
Okay, I will
Yeah, you got
try.
18 because it's like your spell scale on charisma.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Like, let me put it like
Because
this: my ranger has 8 charisma.
Oh,
this
goodness.
this guy is gonna be he's gonna be awfully powerful too.
Yeah, I don't think he's. I feel like if he tries to have a fight in the, I don't think they're going to fight us physically. I mean, they might, but if we've got a paladin of Helm there and he's not compromised, I think we should be prepared for a fight if needed.
I certainly hope they do it politically,
Hmm.
because politically we are representatives of that country. Politically, we had an empress that was influenced by, and now we have a new emperor who has actually saved Vaingate.
We've also got an emperor. The last time he was here, attacked some guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He did. And he called a stop to what originally was organized. And now, by way of a political move, he's offering to help if they need it and would like his army to winter over while he arranges for them to be brought home.
Basically, you just say that you know his army is basically his army is guarding the city as part of the reparation for the fact that his predecessor invaded them.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. Basically, go in there, do our
Send our
political
apologies.
thing, do our
Send our
political
apologies.
and our apologies.
Cinder apologies.
Send our apologies. Send the apologies.
I don't
from
think
the
sending Cinder
Emperor.
in it. I don't think sending Cinder in is a good idea.
No, I said apologize.
I know what you said. I was having fun with it.
You having fun with it?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
if we
I'm
said
using
Cinder,
Cinder in my story.
Oh, that's cool. I think if you sent Cinder in and the Barakyle saw him there and knew who he was, they'd just attack him on sight. They wouldn't be fucking worried about politics. They'd be like, no, kill that guy.
Poor Cinder.
I
The
mean,
Cinder in my world has a village, so he's not
nice.
the only tiefling.
Okay.
I forgot to ask you, does Cinder have a tail and hooves?
No tail. So there, so basically, so there's the okay. So most tieflings in D&D don't have hooves. Basically, the thing is, you got to remember, he's artificial, so his basic features are human. And my idea for the horns was they kind of like they didn't grow organically; they just kind of like burst out when they made him, and then he later cut them off to put the helmet on. So no tail or anything. So actually, let me Google something
Took the
really
tail and
quick.
hooves off though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't like it.
No, fair enough. Like normal tieflings don't have hooves either. That it's possible, but I'm just going to. Okay, let's have a look. So technically, he is a type of like for mechanics, he's a type of tiefling called a feral tiefling, which is a thing. It's from one of the books. I'm just waiting for the page to load. So feral tieflings have slight. Did I buy that?
AI came up with the hooves and the tail when I typed it in, and I'm like, that don't sound right.
No. Okay, so where is it? Feral. Okay, so basically it's like so feral tieflings, they don't have the standard features, but they can have other ones such as, for example, small horns, fangs of sharp teeth, can have forked tongue, cat-like eyes, can have 6 fingers on each hand, goat legs, cloven hooves, forked tail, leathery, scaly skin, dark blue skin, cast no shadow or reflection, exude a spell of brimstone. So basically, with him, I just went like with a human plus some other features. Like, so one of the big things is the whites of his eyes are black and the irises are golden because it's like that kind of inhuman vibe.
I got the gold right. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, he's kind of got issues. But yeah,
Well, he's starting fires in the suit district to distract the bad soldiers so
okay,
they
cool.
can get in and try and save the king.
Okay.
That's what he's currently up to in my story.
Actually, I should send you a picture. Hang on. Let's see.
So he's having fun with fire, and they're over there sneaking into her, trying to hide from the obsidian hands.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Where is it? Find the one I want.
We got 2 dragons, an elf, a prince, his best friend, and the tiefling.
Okay.
In the
Okay.
first part of that's the second part of the story. The first part of the story we had the orc, the 2 dragons, a druid, and a bard.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Actually, I'm just gonna send
Sir Bat.
you a video, Christina. This is one I did of my character in the game I'm in with Charlie. Clothing's not quite right, but it's got the gist of it. Check your DMs.
Okay. All right.
Do we have a Barry?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Sorry about the wait.
Yeah,
Right.
no worries.
So where are we? Where we're about to go to see the
Oh, okay, so this is
Regency.
like the next day, I guess.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, I mean, I think the meeting was scheduled for the next day.
Yep.
Okay, so long rest then, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Take a long rest.
Long rest. That means I get my spell slots back. Ah, ah.
Okay, and spells. Okay.
Spell slots back.
Did you
All
know
I
Oh,
have to do.
according to the rules, you only recover half your hit dice on a long rest?
yeah, I know. That was one of the things that confused me originally.
And in 2024 rules, you get all your hit dice back, apparently.
I know. It's like I think they basically changed it because it was just too confusing.
Right. This is like why. Yep. Okay. Um, channel. What the hell?
Hmm?
I lost Ren's sheet.
That's a good trick.
There it is. Okay, cool, cool.
Why on earth do I have short bow?
Why do you have a
A
short?
short. That's what I'm saying. Like I've got a short bow on my sheet. I've never remembered having a short bow on my sheet. Oh, probably just like maybe standard starting equipment. Anyway, I don't need it. I'm gonna delete it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okie dokie. So you have you have your long rest,
Hmm.
and you feel much better when you wake up or
Hmm.
stop meditating or whatever it is that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so you're back in your complex, your
Hmm.
apartments at Solanor Temple. Um, and upon the morning that you wake up, you can make perception checks.
Mm-hmm.
10.
10,
Five.
5. What? Oh,
25.
25, I was going to say. I nearly died. Did I catch
Bless
that?
you.
I tried to catch that with the mute. Um, Barry got a 7, so we have a 10, a 7, and a 25. So Lissa, waking up, you can hear the bells ringing across the city in the distance. But you note that one of the bells that seems to be ringing is making ringing a pattern that you're not familiar with from around here. You're not sure what it is, but there seems to be. It's almost like an alarm or an alert or something like that. Like there's a separate bell pattern besides the usual timings of, the hourly bells. I mean, you know that there are other bells that go off, like, for example, when you want to bring, there's an incident in this district and they want to bring in more guards, they might ring a specific pattern of bells to do that.
Hmm.
So it seems like that to you.
Okay.
And this is Lissa that has noticed this.
Guys, there seems to be a strange pattern of bells being rung.
Hmm? Okay, I'm going to try listening for the bells now that she's pointing it out.
Make an investigation check.
Is our army within range or something?
You don't know.
No, I'm saying it to the guys.
Tannel gets a 19 on investigation.
Yeah.
Tannel, it does sound like a military alert of some description.
Hmm. Sounds like some sort of military alert. I'd like to consider like how fast our army was anticipated to move and what time they estimated they would get to the city compared to today's date.
You've not been informed of them moving at all without your orders.
Okay, cool. I believe we should look into that.
Okay, let's look into it.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay, so you leave Solanor Temple, you have breakfast, no doubt, and do the things, and you see a couple of clerics on the way out, and you may even see Iolanthra and Skylar and some others. Is Skylar going to come with you? Do you need her or not?
Yeah, we
Probably
will.
probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. So she comes with you. She asks you if you'd like to arrange a carriage.
I think it would
Very
be.
second.
I know how you feel. I think it would be stranger if we did not arrive in a carriage.
All right.
This one isn't gonna devour us.
I do kind of kind of poke at the carriage a little bit subtly before I get into it.
Do you want to? I
Poke
mean,
it
you.
with a staff.
Does anyone have detect? I don't know, evil or good or anything? Barry probably does.
I
He's a
think I
paladin.
do.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to use it?
Yes, please.
All right. Let's just. You've got divine sense. As an action, you can detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead that is within 60 feet. Okay, so you burn a divine sense, and you don't learn anything, which is probably a good thing.
Yep. Okay, it
I
seems to be
mean,
all right.
the parts of the temple might be under the effect of the Hallow spell.
Yeah, you probably know that. That's probably true. There are probably large parts of the temple under that.
Yeah, so I'm saying he probably picks up some of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But nothing related to the carriage. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
Nothing that you were expecting, or not expecting happens. All
Okay.
right, so the carriage seems pretty normal, you believe. There's on this particular occasion, there is a middle-aged lady driving this carriage. She's quite, shall we say, she looks like a farmer,
Good.
with a broad hat and short hair, thick set shoulders.
Good.
All right. So she takes your money and clippity clop, the carriage begins to move and you ride through the city. Do you want to make an initiative check? Just kidding. You get to the palace. And arriving at the palace, you are parked up in the VIP loading zone, so to speak, the Vane Gate equivalent of such. And you disembark from the carriage at the palace. It's all very flash, and you see a number of very fancy-looking guards standing about, with their full plate armor, with their gold trim and their fancy-looking weapons. And you know what? You can make an insight check if you like.
Okay.
Insight. 24 for Tannel. 22 for Barry. 13 for Lissa. Yeah, Lissa's probably not paying that much attention, to be fair. She's like, I'm a dragon. I don't care. So the other two, the impression that you get is that these are palace guards, and I know Tannel probably already knows this. In fact, Ren probably knows this too. But you can see there's a clear distinction between the ability and protection and equipment that these guys have compared to the average guards on the street. These are not just guards; they are elite, prepared, trained.
Are palace guards the same thing as crown guards?
I think there's a difference actually because there's the normal guards, there's the palace guards, the crown guards. One of these is a bodyguard. I have to remember which one it is. You know what? I'll just quickly check.
Okay, because I remember one of the first things we did was that whole incident in the tunnel with the crown guards.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right. To differentiate, it is important. Just double checking my resources here. Mm-hmm. Right, so the Crown Guard is the palace and the Royal Guard. They're an elite unit that serves as the personal guard to Queen Claresca typically, but not presently. They ensure the safety and security of the throne, the royal family, symbol of the kingdom's stability and authority. The unit is led by a crown commander, and then there's the city guard and the city watch. And the guard is tasked with protecting Vaingate from major external threats like intruders and spies. The city watch is responsible for maintaining daily order. And then there's the Moltrean militia and vanguard forces, etc., that are the actual army. So that's a different scenario. So yeah, the Crown Guard are the palace and the Royal Guard. Avery, if that answers your question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty well trained. They have what appears to be heirloom equipment. So you would suspect that they have magical gear on them. Their weapons and what have you may even be gifts from the elves from some time past.
I bet Evran's trying to get it back.
Of course.
Even if it wasn't from the elves, he's still trying to get it back.
Of course, yeah. Get it back.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there was that drow thing he was trying to get his hands on in the other campaign.
Right. He claims to everything's his to get back. So,
Yeah.
if he wants it, he's getting it back, regardless of whether he had it before.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go into the palace, and the Crown Guards sort of, I don't want to say seize upon you, but they certainly take notice of you, and a couple of them step forward, and one of them in particular comes and checks the register to see if you are the people that they're expecting to see, and so forth. And they take you through to a meeting chamber that has a large round table in it. And you see that there are a number of individuals already placed around the table. I would expect that you might not be the very first sort of point of discussion, so you might have to sit in a waiting room for a little while. So by the time you actually enter into the chamber with the Regency, they've probably been at discussions for a good hour and a half or something by that point. Things that they have deemed to be presumably more important. And at last you're led in, and you are, surrounded by people. It's a big room. There's a couple of fireplaces in it. It's so big that it has more than one fireplace. And there's a big table, as I said earlier. In fact, to make it more fun, let's say it's a horseshoe-shaped table. And so you go into the sort of center of that horseshoe, and you're surrounded by the Regency. On the Regency, you see a number of individuals. Mostly they're humans. They look like just nobles, and one or two of them you've probably even seen around the city before. Tannel, can you make a perception check? Specifically, you.
10.
10. Okay. You see a figure who you vaguely recognize from the markets, who you saw wandering around the back of the market dozen building once. You didn't connect them before, but now you're like, okay. All right, so the speaker brings you in and announces your presence. I've come to announce this is Lord. I don't know what names you're planning to use. Are you using your real names or?
No, I can't.
That's true, you can't.
So I'll just call myself Lord Ravenwood.
Lord Ravenwood. That's interesting.
Hmm.
It'll be even more interesting when I find out that there is already a Lord Ravenwood.
I think we would have discussed a name
Yeah.
before. I mean, you could always just call yourself Ren Sornel.
You can. You can. Sonal is that name for catching all the Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So you go in and they announce you and you, do your bowing and so on and so forth. And one of the speaker steps forward and says, he says, if you would please present your proposal, my lords, to the Regency.
At a game, who's doing this?
You are.
Why me? This is on the Assembly of Princes.
That is true. You're also sort of expected to. Actually, to be fair, how would they introduce you? They would have introduced you as Lady Lissa of Dagdagile, um, a member of the Assembly of Princes. Lord Tannel Winterbreeze of Dagdagile. Honorifics may include.
I think basically, I think I'm technically a noble in like probably a noble in like 3 different countries now.
Choose one.
Probably go with the estate Claresca gave him.
Okay. All right. And Ren Sornel,
Yeah.
whose honorifics are what? He's obviously an elf and a knight.
In a night.
Um,
There, I can't claim to be a prince.
You could be a knight errant of the Twilight Isles.
That sounds good to me.
all right.
Knight errant of the Twilight Isle.
Very well. You notice that most of the Regency sit silently watching and listening to this as it unfolds. And one of them, a lady, she leans forward and she says, "And whence do you come?"
Is she addressing all of us or one of us in particular?
She's addressing all of you.
What does that mean in modern English?
She's saying, "Where did you come from? Like what? Like
Yeah. Where
why are
did you
you
come
here?"
from? Right.
Forgive me, my lady. We are here on behalf of the Emperor of Dagdagil.
Is not the Emperor of Dagdagile a cat?
I am given to understand his people are named the Tabashi, and
There is a snigger that goes around the court.
there is a certain resemblance to cats.
So it's true then.
That he resembles a cat?
One of the other members of the Regency leans across their table. This particular one, you can tell, is a Barakyle connected individual. And he says, "Is this a matter of urgency that you come here with?"
We are here to talk to you about the Dagdagian army that was sent by his predecessor. We are here cleaning up her mess, so to speak.
This army that was sent, was it not sent to bring war against us?
Again, we are cleaning up the mess she made. Unfortunately, someone was able to get to the late Empress and put undue and ill-advised influences over her.
One of the others calls out, "And how do you intend to redress the fact that you have crossed into our lands, that you have trespassed?"
By offering reparations, of course.
There's another murmur goes around the group. Reparations? In what form? What manner?
Reparations in the form of service.
Another murmur goes about the court. What sort of service do you offer then?
I glance over at Lissa. The
All eyes.
Emperor the Emperor has offered the services of the army that was sent here for 1 year and 1 day to be at the disposal of the crown of Moldrea.
There are cries of, "It's a lie! Trap!"
I look around for the Paladin of Helm that was requested.
Um, yeah, there's a couple of paladins standing back. Yeah.
We I understand that this is difficult to believe. As such, we have requested the presence of a Paladin of Helm. I do see some figures that appear to be.
So they summon forth the paladin, and he comes to the center of the room nearby, and he nods to you as if to acknowledge your presence and gives you a quick prayer to each of the three of you before casting the zone of truth. And scintillating sparks of divine light shower down around you, and you are filled with the divine presence. You can make saving throws or choose to fail.
I choose to fail.
Just a fail.
To fail.
Okay. All right.
Again, I will.
He nods to the council and then steps back, maintaining the spell.
This is a male figure?
Yeah.
Thank you, good sir. Again, I will reiterate, everything that I have just said is true to the best of my ability. We are sent here on behalf of the Emperor of Dagdagiel. We are here to offer reparations in the form of the services of his army to the crown of Moldrea for 1 year and 1 day.
Excellent speech. You can have inspiration.
Already had it from last time, but thank you.
All right. You can pass it on to someone else then.
Does Barry have it, or does Lissa need it?
Barry, you do not have it. So we can give it to you.
Listen, if you need it, take it. If you don't, I'll take it.
Looks like Lissa has it.
Okay.
You've got it?
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
All right. So now you've all got
I'll bounce it.
inspiration. Excellent. There is now that the zone of truth is up, and there is a murmur that goes around the group again. I'll get another insight check from everyone.
Yes.
So we got a 14 from Lissa, 22 from Barry, and a 27, was it, from Tanner?
Yes.
Crikey. All right. You recognize specifically three individuals on the council who seem more concerned than not concerned, as opposed to the rest of the people on the council. And the ones that you identify as being more concerned are at least two of those three are clearly attached to the Barakyle.
What about the third?
The third one, you can make a history check.
No idea.
No idea. Yeah, that
17?
seems 17. 1 second. For some reason, whatever reason it is, Lissa, you are aware of this individual. It looks to be like a noble with ties to the guard, you think, based on emblems and such. In fact, let's say you overhear someone mentioning that their name is Under Marshal Ainslaw. All right. So, to reiterate your proposal, you wish to bring the Dagdagian army to our city, and you propose that you will use it to assist us with defense, I expect. Is that your...
There are many uses for an army. It is not unusual to set them to civic projects such as repairing and maintaining the roads, or if there are bandit or monster infestations, you could use them to suppress those while preserving the lives and well-being of your own armed forces.
One of the council members speaks up, and I think maybe they've each got like a little bell or something that they use to get the attention. And he rings his bell, and he says, "If I may, my lord," he says, "this does seem to be a most excellent proposition, having soldiers here to work the gates and the roads to protect our villages and nearby towns, perhaps." And then one of the ones that you saw before, Ainslaw, in fact, the one that you noticed, Lissa, under Marshal Ainslaw, he stands, he says, "But ladies and gentlemen, do not forget that whilst these individuals may have passed our test, they may not be lying, but how can we be sure that their generals and the members of their army are not traitors even to them? We must be careful. This is, after all, a foreign army from another country. They may well have spies amongst them. They may well have deceit in their hearts. Maybe it is possible that their generals," and he motions to you three, "are here with respect, but we cannot be sure that they themselves will not be betrayed by their lessers." And one of the others turns to you. "Is that so? Could that be? Do you have guarantees?"
We are currently working on the situation as we speak. However, is it not true that those same questions could be posed about your own armies? Can you guarantee that your own people have not been swayed?
These are our own people brought up within our culture, under our gods and our laws. They are, of course, a class of citizen that must be trusted under our laws. But as for these foreigners...
Really, you can trust your own guards, even the Black Spear Company?
One of them looks up at you. "How dare you raise the matter of the Black Spear Company? Who are you to come here and cast aspersions?"
I am someone who has been assaulted by them.
Another member of the council cries out, "These are lies, my lords."
I am under zone of truth.
Another outburst goes around the room, and there is much scuffling and discussion, and then a bell rings. "Enough! Enough! We will convene after a short break." And they banish you to another room for a few minutes. You can hear heated discussion. You can make a perception check.
Okay. 24.
24? Are you guys making perception checks too? Lissa did 24. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
And Ren, 21. Pretty good. Well, you are definitely aware that you've thrown the cat in amongst the pigeons, and
I did not mean to do that.
and now there is.
I'm not mad, but
You're not mad.
did he forget that I was under zone of truth, or did you?
I don't think. Yeah, I think he kind of was just reacting based on his political need to react.
So, well, that's kind of like, I don't know if that'll help our situation, but it's certainly interesting.
Right. So Yeah, you can definitely hear some loud discussion, and then you hear the door close behind you, and that sort of seals it up, and then you are moved into a separate room where it's pretty much soundproof.
Mm.
You suspect possibly even magically soundproofed. But it's very nice, and there's lots of gold gilding everywhere, and paintings
Listening
of
devices. Yeah.
listening devices. Yes, bugs, magic
Mm.
bugs.
Yes.
Um,
Statues.
Possible.
Mm.
It's possible. Um, yeah, to be fair, you probably don't feel entirely safe in respect to not being listened to. But let us say you're in a small round chamber with pillars around the outside, marking the edges, and that just beyond the pillars, the wall there has alcoves with some small statues on them, and there's a few seats in the center of this room for you to sit on, and
Mm.
a large jug of wine with some opaque cups.
Mm.
A servant comes in. Can I get you anything?
Not for me, thank you.
I appreciate the hospitality, but I must decline.
All right, so the servant buggers off and closes the door, and now you're in total silence in your own little room
Mm.
for a few minutes. Do you do anything? Say anything?
Sornol pulls out a lyre and starts strumming at it, just like kind of like absent-mindedly.
And I'm just picking a nice area to sit, and if they come bursting in, I'll
Right.
at least have a chance to do something
Fair enough.
before they kill us. Mm.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay. Um, very good. You do that. After some time, another servant comes back in and opens the door and says, My lords, lady, the council is prepared to continue.
Thank you.
And
All right. Um, you're marched back in before the council, before the regency once more. And they summon the paladin the fourth again to cast Zone of Truth once more, second time. He seems a little bit, I won't say annoyed, but, he's like, I just did this.
But they waited so long that the spell ran out.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so you go in and they say, so we have concluded that your offer seems very reasonable. However, we do have one condition.
What would that be?
One of the others pipes up at that point. It is our contest that in the situation or condition that your army was to, let us say, betray you or otherwise cause some form of social or civic panic or distrust, or even damages for that matter, we should like you to put forth a bond that will be returned to you at the end of this operation.
And what is the value of the bond you are requesting?
They look at each other, and one of them passes across the table a piece of parchment to the speaker, and he looks at it. 10,000 gold pieces is the number that we have settled upon. It should be enough to cover any damages caused by your forces if they were to become misaligned.
Um, I turn to Lissa because she is like she outranks Sornel in this case.
Right? Alyssa,
My
do
lady.
you have the money bags?
I don't imagine we're carrying 10,000 in cash, but it's like I'm saying it's not Sornel's place to accept or decline that. I mean,
Right. Fair enough.
my lady, what is your thoughts on the matter?
It seems pretty reasonable, but we need a day to think about it, if that is all right with you.
That seems more than reasonable to us. Yes, of course. As you will. Perhaps you will send us a message then when you have decided. There is no need for another hearing. Very well. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. This business then seems concluded unless anyone has further thoughts, requests, questions. Maybe a couple of out-of-game questions, a couple of, in-game details might come up. People ask you some small questions about this, that, and the other that are just clarifying, but
I think basically, like, I think Sornel would, like, just business side of things, say that, look, assuming that we do go with this, we would need to agree before any money changed hands on an accounting system and checks and balances for both sides. If money is deducted for these soldiers, just, we don't want to have it that if our soldiers are involved, yes, but we want to have some manner of evidence that our soldiers did wrong and this isn't just somebody trying to line their own pockets.
well, Skylark steps forward and she says, ladies and gentlemen of the Assembly and the Regency, the Daughters of Twilight can offer their service as a intermediary in these matters, if you wish. We can hold the coin and pass it forth when it is appropriate, unless there is any objections. Of course, this goes to the council. They do a vote. The Barakai vote against them, but they are outvoted by the rest of the council, which in itself tells you something.
Yeah. The better call don't quite have the hold that they normally have. That's what it looks like.
And so with that, without much further ado, then you are released back out into the streets. You get marched out
Okay. Yeah.
ceremoniously. They don't dump you on the street though. They're fairly nice to you.
Okay.
But yeah, come out of the palace, and what do you do then?
Sornel makes a mental note to send a donation to the Temple of Helm
Okay,
for the Paladin services.
of course. Right.
Mhm.
Well then, should we return to the temple or...
Oh, I'm thinking at some point we got to meet the army at some point, but we'll do that when they get closer to here.
They aren't moving at the moment to our knowledge. We should need to go out to meet them.
Yeah, because aren't they only going to move if we give the order?
Yes.
That was
Yes.
the arrangement.
All right.
First, we got to decide about this deal.
I
think-
Discuss it.
Shall we go back, return, and make contact with His Eminence?
Yes. That sounds like a good plan to me.
All right. So you're going to send messages to the Dagdagal.
Yeah, we'll send a message to the army, and basically, actually, no, we need to confirm that we've got an arrangement before they start moving. Because if somebody's monitoring them and they start moving before we have the arrangement in place, the Barakai would definitely twist that.
Sorry, are you going to touch base with Storm? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. We're
Yes.
gonna touch base with
Touch
Storm.
base with Storm first.
Okay. So you're going to do a sending spell or something to that effect?
Yeah. Basically, I figure we'll do that back at the temple.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's Storm's reaction to all of that then? What do you ask Storm, first of all, I guess, is the...
Well,
Yeah, tell me what you asked me.
uh, basically, we've got permission. The gist of it is we have permission to winter the army. They are asking for 10,000 gold in bond. I will remind you that we also made a deal with the servants of the Fox to send them weapons, armor, and other material in exchange for some of the Astorian gold on that ship. So we have managed to get some measure of income.
Right. So
Okay.
it's not just net
And
loss.
you know a dragon.
True. I mean, is Lissa offering to put up the bond?
Yes,
Does Lissa have 10,000 gold pieces floating around? Um,
I
yep,
mean,
she has a portal, access to a portal.
true.
remind me, is that one of those she can go there anytime she wants through the portal, or is it like, does there need to be specific alignments?
That wasn't really the plan, to let her just go back and forth and grab 10,000 gold. No. Um, so I think that in order to limit such behavior, we're going to say that there are definitely some alignments that have to occur for the portal to work. Also, I would add that the gold that you probably do have is ancient and um, might cause controversy for different
Okay.
reasons.
I mean, we could always have somebody exchange it, but that's stuff you're not getting back if you want that as part of your treasure hoard. If we exchange it for modern gold, you could definitely get a lot for it, but, you know, from what I understand, a dragon's hoard is the measure by which they get into dragon heaven in D&D lore, which is like,
So you don't want to part with it
yeah,
easily.
and I think basically, I think, you know,
I mean, there are means and ways for you to get it, so it's not like
yeah,
it's
like we've got options.
I would say, Christina, that yes, you do have that option, but it is a last resort. I don't reckon you'd want to do it if you could help it in any other way. And there are
Uh,
other ways,
I
so
mean, I think Sornel could probably personally chip in a couple thousand gold.
probably.
She just offers it, to help if need be.
Fair enough. I mean, one option is everybody could put some together and you could come up with 10,000 gold between you, probably.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, we'll
it'd
do that.
probably clean you
Yeah.
each individually out, at least somewhat. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it does avoid having to ask Storm or anybody else for money.
Especially since we'd have to go through the portal and it'd be like, um, yeah,
It's a whole big rigmarole using the portal,
yeah, like it's a whole thing.
each direction as well.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and again, if the Turagile portal is, obviously a couple of days out from Dagdagile as well, so there's
hmm.
more traveling time involved. Okay, so long story short, then you're going to put together 10 grand between you.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. And do
We'd
you send
probably
them?
like we probably sell a couple of things to the Daughters of Twilight as what that we picked up as well.
Fair
Hmm.
enough. Okay. All right then. Um, and you said you needed a day to think about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what you spend your day doing, is gathering all the money, selling the things, adding up
Yeah.
to 10,000. Geez.
So basically, they're expecting an answer in the day, and we're going like a day later. Okay, yep, we got the money.
Okay. So
Yeah,
then
Yeah.
basically. That's why I've got us today.
how do you move the money to the Regency?
I've got to
Well,
go for a minute. Something's happened.
wasn't the plan to
Okay.
have? Yeah. So basically, it's like,
What's up?
does does Vangate have banks?
No. You have temples that loan money though. Um, there are individuals that are like money traders, gold traders, or that kind of thing, but it's fairly low key. There's no big banks. It's not like
Yeah.
actual banks. You can't take money out here and take it out and get it back over here unless it's through agreement through a temple or some other large institution like that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just thinking.
If I recall, you did meet a gnomish money lender at one point.
I feel like that was in.
It
I
was
don't
in
know.
Sunfall, I think.
Okay, maybe. But the thing is, it would have to be somebody that the Regency would recognize as being an
Right.
official source. I feel like one of the temples might work for that. Like, we could say, well, here's a note from, like, here's an official signed thing saying the
Right.
temple is holding this money.
Right. A promissory note,
Yeah,
something to that
well, I think
effect.
the other thing is, I feel like for this amount of money, it would make sense to convert into platinum
Hmm.
because then it's just like a lot less to transport.
Yeah, I think ultimately the Daughters of Twilight would probably be your best option at the end of the day
Okay.
for all of that.
So yeah, so basically we just say, well, look, here's the promissory note from the Daughters of Twilight. It is held in trust with them. Uh, we are passing over the promissory note. Here's a contract stipulating everything we agreed to. Blah blah blah. Um, and yeah, if this is acceptable to you, then we'll begin making arrangements for a camp for the army outside of Vanegate's walls and making some arrangements so some of the soldiers can come into the city, and once they've established trust, they can maybe take on some responsibilities within the city.
Right. You get a note back from the Regency, and they say that some of their members would like to clarify some details with you. Um, and if you can come to another meeting, that would be appreciated. So
Christina?
it's,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Yep.
All right. Okay, so it's this time it's a meeting at nighttime, and there's fewer of them. You have the impression it's a bit more low key. In fact, you can make a insight check.
26?
Wow, better than Barry's 7 and another 26. Wow. Okay. Um, there seems to be something a
Ooh,
little bit.
Lissa got a nat 20.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Um, Lissa, something's off. Um, some of these people on at this new meeting who have requested this new meeting seem to be the people that were mostly the ones that were voting on the behalf of the Barrack Isle. The meeting is at the palace, and I don't know. Do you go? Do you?
This meeting seems off, Sornel.
It is almost certainly a trap. Out again, before we go in, what I will do, he will agree to go,
Mhm.
but he's going to put on and attune to a ring of mind shielding.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And
have to too.
he suggests the others do the same.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
Barry's muted. I don't know if he's back yet, but he is muted.
I'm gonna
He's
run to the ladies' room.
All right. We can
okay.
pause for a minute. We can look at this Moldrayan map instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm back.
You're
Oh,
back.
great. So we've traded
Barry
Lissa
for
for
Lissa. Yeah.
Ren.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
Well, you got back and right as Christina disappeared.
Just as she left, you came back. So, but
Yeah.
quick update is you guys are going to a new meeting, Barry. That's the news.
It's
And
obvious it's going to be a threat.
oh yeah. So basically, Sornel has suggested that we all put on rings of mind shielding before we go in.
Okay. I agree.
All right. We're just waiting for Lissa to come back, and we'll do it. But you can, think of anything else you want to do in the meantime. Anyone you want to talk to or visit or
Might be worth touching base with Hassledrill.
okay. Do you want to visit Hassledrill before you go to the palace?
Mm. If we have that time.
Or we
I'd visit Drazail, but he'd probably accuse Ren of owing him money despite never actually meeting him.
Right, true that. Okay, so you're going to go visit Hassledrill. We can say that you two go first. Oh, Christina's back. Excellent. Okay. I mean, you can still go and visit Hassledrill or not if Christina's here now, so it's up to you.
Well, I mean, I still want to visit Hassledrill because I think it's worth Like, I think basically it's like,
Getting a point of view.
well, I mean, I'm trying to remember the layout of the city, like
It's on the way.
how it's on the way. So yeah, basically we leave a bit early and probably even like send a message that we'll be swinging by to say hi, basically.
Okay.
And
I
like
send a message to my mother too.
Okay.
with the wording being like, no, we're not. The subtext is we're not just saying hi, but that's like officially plausible deniability, blah blah blah.
Right. Fair enough. Okie doke. So you get to the Nag's Head then, and the door is actually open for once, and you could hear some music coming from inside.
Music from the Nag's Head. Did we come to the right place? Yeah.
You,
So
all right, you go in, and there is a couple of people there, whom Hasseldrill immediately says goodbye to, and they leave, and they nod and bow to you as they go past. They look like merchants. Um, and then Laertes closes the door behind them as they all leave. And Hasseldrill looks down over the balcony to you. Greetings, friends.
greetings.
You come upon a busy day.
That's why I thought that might be the case. That's why we sent word ahead.
Of course, of course. I prepared you a meal.
Oh, so kind. I
Yes.
I'm quite certain you are already aware of recent developments with the Regency, but I thought you might like to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Developments from the Regency. Do
With
tell.
the army, I'm quite certain that you've got your ear to the ground. I'm quite certain you've heard
Out of
your.
game, have you discussed this with him before, the specifics of the army?
He knew that we were connected to the army.
Right.
I think basically what I'm saying is I kind of assumed that. So this is Sornel assuming that Hasseldrill would have an ear to what's going on in the Regency, and he would hear about the meeting and whatnot.
You can make an insight check.
Hmm.
21?
You realize that Hasseldrill is not omnipotent.
Oh, I'm surprised you had not heard. We came to an agreement with the Regency for the wintering of the Dagdagayan army for a year and a day as offering service as reparation for invading the territory.
I see. These are some developments.
Now, what we are where we are going after this is we have been invited to another meeting with the Regency, but a rather smaller group, and we wanted to know what you knew of some of the individuals, as they seem to be affiliated with our friends in the Red.
Of course, of course. So, do you have any names?
Uh,
You can
I
give it to
assume we
them.
have names?
Yeah, you give them the names. Um, all right. Let me. He says, yes, it is true, Lord Marshal, Under Marshal Ainslaw. He has supported Barakyle actions several times now. It certainly seems he is under their influence, if nothing else. Lord Umbonar is more difficult to assess. His affiliations with the Barakyle are subtle, but there has certainly been storied rumors of his secret meetings, shall we say, evening meetings at his manor, Barakyle comings and goings through back doors.
Of course.
And as for Jasper Weinhardt, well, he's known for his work in the treasury and financial operations. It is my presumption that his primary objective is to launder and embezzle large sums of cash. those would be the three that you would be dealing with mainly.
That seems quite likely.
As to what can be done about it, not very much, I expect. If you have been requested to the palace to meet with them, I suggest you take what magical protections you have. I will say that if it is at the palace, you have some inherent protections. The Barakyle have been reticent to use their powers too openly in the palace.
Have you heard any word of them bringing their fiends in?
I've not heard any direct word of such. Certainly the rumors magnify at all angles and in all directions, but I have it on fairly good authority that the palaces of old were built upon the mythals of the ancients. The palace of Dagdagyl, much like the palace here, constructed under the same circumstances. It would be my assumption that the lack of details surrounding these rumors suggests to me that they are weak and perhaps even instigated by the Barakyle themselves. Hard to say. One story I heard is that, and perhaps you can clarify this yourself with the lady, I understand that when Queen Claresca was outed, a number of fiends were seen within the palace, but it is the only time that it has been reported.
Interesting. I shall have to ask her about that.
Indeed.
Thank you for this, the food and the event.
Well, he certainly seems to have, he knew you were coming, so he was able to actually make some arrangements for some, like a proper meal. So you actually get fed decent food. I mean, you get decent food at the Daughters of Twilight too, but it's a little bit more, it's a temple. So it's, you know, it's all vegetarian.
Yeah.
With a few little sprinkles of, I don't know, whatever. All right. Avery's trying to make up his mind whether he's going to wear his glasses or not.
No, I was cleaning them because it's like I put them on and realized they were dirty, but my eyes are getting a little bit strained.
Right. Yeah. That does happen to me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so, yeah. Does anybody else want to do anything here? All right.
Oh, and I'll say there was a bard here too when you arrived, and he plays for a little while until Hasseldrill dismisses him so that you can speak about the secret stuff.
How good is he?
How good is he? Well, he's not bad, but we'll see what he rolls. Well, I'm going to give him a modifier. That's not terrible, but we'll give him a roll to see how good or bad he is. You know what? He's fucking terrible. That was a 2. So even with like a +5 or 6 modifier, it's still a little bit low par. I think Hasseldrill might have been testing him. It might have been a job interview.
Sornel just quietly gives him a couple of pointers before he leaves.
Yeah, and Hasseldrill's like, all right, very well, enough, thank you. You can go now. And so he heads off. All right, so you have your conversation, and is there anything else that you want to ask Hasseldrill or learn or do whilst you're here on your way to this meeting?
I can't think of anything. Barry, Christina, anything you guys want to add?
No, I can't think of anything.
Anything.
Can't think of anything? Okay, then. All right, so you head off to the palace, and they are expecting you. So you
Yeah.
are escorted in through a back door.
One thing I will do before we go in,
Okay,
I'm gonna cast See Invisibility just in case,
fair.
because it's not concentration, and it
Okay,
lasts an hour.
nice. All right, so you can see the invisible.
Yep.
Excellent. Um, mm, 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 hmm.
But yeah,
All right, so you go into the palace, you go in through the back door. They lead you to a much smaller back room that you haven't been in before, um, where you find four figures um, sitting as you enter. Um, there is, however, another paladin of Helm here, um, curiously enough, and they bid you enter. Ah, good friends, do come in. Please come.
thank you for the invitation.
Of course, of course. We had some small requests of you. Uh, More a case of bookkeeping than anything else.
Of course, of course. There are things like this should absolutely be taken care of in advance.
Indeed, indeed. We had one request come forth from the council meeting yesterday. It involved, well, we should like to meet the various high-ranking members of this army at some point to be sure that they are, in fact, not planning some treacherous acts of malicious treason upon the city. Of course, you and I know that that is not the case, but assurances need to be made.
I believe that we could certainly arrange a meeting. I feel it would be best if we had a decent number of people from the council present so that we can assuage people's concerns.
Ah, yes. The council has voted on our uh, this small council to be the um, adjudicating faction, uh, body, the governing body of this enterprise investigation.
Insight check?
You all right?
22?
22. He's not lying, but he is quite proud of the fact.
Hmm. I am quite certain that we can arrange something. It would be best to wait until the army is closer to the city so that.
Oh, yes, of course. Once the army is here and you
And of
have
course, one of us
taken.
would, and of course, one of us would be coming with each one of our high officials.
Of course, it would be expected.
Yeah.
Then you can bring them to visit with us so that we can uh, ascertain their clarity of mind.
Of course, their clarity of mind.
Very well, that is all. Our only request. If this can be satisfied, then we agree.
Yes. Thank you.
Most excellent, then. Well, when do you intend to move your army to our gates?
We were simply finalizing some preparations. Needed to have. We needed to do some paperwork as such, like we needed to have a. We needed agreement and consent on where exactly they would be stationed and just certain bureaucratic steps that needed to be taken.
Yes, yes, we too have some concerns in these matters. Our people will need to be informed before your army arrives, lest they panic and uh, this causes some wave of terror.
Of course, of course.
Very well. Perhaps then we should agree upon a time, such as, shall we say, 3 days hence.
At a game, is that enough time for the army to pick up sticks and get here?
Sure. Why not?
I believe that is perfectly reasonable. If there are any delays in the army's arrival time, we will send a message to let you know.
Most excellent. Most excellent. Then our terms have been met, and we agree. Thank you very much for coming.
Of course.
We have no other matters of concern. Well, not for now.
Mm. Very well then.
If that will be all, then you may, of course, vacate as you will.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so you leave.
Mm.
All right. Do. You're out of the palace.
I didn't see anything invisible in there.
You didn't see anything invisible.
Worth checking.
It is. It is. How do you travel having left? Are you walking? Carriaging?
Very, very carefully carriaging.
Okay.
Yes,
Very
we
good.
learned our lesson from the last time. Sense good and evil, and
Yeah, divine sense.
Yep,
Yep.
divine sense. All right, very good. You don't sense any carriage mishaps, any miscarriages of justice.
Ugh. A fridge drops on you.
But I was in game at least. Oh, I wasn't.
okay.
No. Anyway, all right. So where do you go? Where do you go next? Are you going to go out to the army and collect them?
I kind of will set this. It's late in the evening, so probably
Hmm.
make preparations to move out
In the morning.
first light, basically.
All right. Okay. So I guess long story short, then you spend the night preparing and recovering and getting your shit together for the trip in the following day, and then you travel out the next day.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think we'd send word ahead to the army to like probably would have been told they would probably would have been told be ready to move, and now it's like, yeah, get ready. You're moving as soon as we get out there to collect you.
Okay. All right. So you get all the way out to the army. It takes a couple of days to get out there. If there's anything that you want to do that on the way, that's fine. Um, any conversations you want to have.
Um,
Um,
um, I want to get together all the generals. We'll tell them under what conditions we've agreed to, so they know what's been going on. Give them a, what do you call it? Give them a
brief,
rundown.
a, a briefing.
Yeah, briefing. Yeah. We'll give them a briefing of the situation
Mm-hmm.
and to be very careful. And we tell them that these people want to meet them one by one, but they will be accompanied by us when
Okay.
they go to meet these people. And they say they want to be sure of stuff. And I want the generals to talk to each one of their troops and tell them what the rules are. And basically, they're representing Dag Dago.
Mm-hmm.
So their behavior has to be beyond
Reproach.
perfection. Yeah,
Right.
reproach. And if anybody causes any kind of crime, they have to be dealt with by their generals.
All right.
Okay.
So what level of punishment is acceptable?
If it's something serious,
Like what?
like if
Theft?
they kill somebody
Okay.
and that somebody was innocent,
Right.
then we have to abide by the punishment that
Your hosts.
Basically, they
yes,
would be turned over to the Moldrayan guard, I believe.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
That's
right.
the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What some of your generals give you a little bit of pushback, and they're like, "Look, man, this is an army. They're soldiers. They're not going to be perfect. We know they're not going to be perfect."
Yeah, it's like I think at that point Storm was like, "Yes, we understand they're not going to be perfect, but you need to tell them that that's what we're expecting because we we need to put pressure on them basically. It's like we're not expecting perfection, but putting pressure on them about their behavior and having these threats hanging over them until they are somewhat emotionally invested in being in this place will
Right.
probably smooth things out a lot."
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you explain all of this business, and you set this up, and I assume you march the army to the gates of Vane Gate.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. Wow. Okay. So this the day comes when you and your army arrive at the city.
Do we need to go ahead and sneak ahead and slip Claresca out, or are we? What
This
are
is
we
up to
doing with
you.
this?
These are questions
Okay.
for you.
So I think basically, like, I kind of imagine. Let's rewind a little bit. Have this discussion before we go out.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I've been
probably,
wanting to have this discussion. Yeah.
probably have Claresca. I'm kind of imagining Claresca and Iolanthra together to discuss this. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we should do that before we leave, even.
All
I
right.
think. Before we leave. Yeah. So everybody knows what's happening on what page. We'll have the discussion at the temple itself.
Yep. Okay. So you have this discussion at Solanor Temple with Iolanthra and Claresca.
Yes.
Very good. And what's the discussion? Let's have it.
Basically, from here we can do you uh, ride in with this army and present yourself that way. Have they got any other things that they would prefer? Any other ideas? Has anybody got any other ideas?
What's the what's the highest objective?
Basically, to get her back on the throne. That'd be the highest, wouldn't it,
That
guys?
that seems pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like a realistic answer. Okay. So in service of that, um, out of game, out of game. What's the deal here? You're going to march the army and you're going to winter them outside, and you're going to do what with Claresca?
Um,
Basically, the idea is that it's her army, right?
Hmm.
she's a queen. So this is the time where Ren is saying, okay, be a queen. How do you want to do this? What is her opinion of what she should do?
Right.
And
Well, she wants to ride in through the front gates with war elephants and smash the fucking palace gates and then trash the Barrackyle complex. Um, so, you know,
with all due respect, Your Majesty, we cannot do it that way
she wants to know why. Why can't we do it that way?
because the Barrack Isle and indeed your own people might be a bit shocked when they get attacked by their own queen. They might not be too happy with having you around once you do that. You need to get the respect of your people.
She says, I was under the impression that my people loved me and that they were missing my presence. Should they not should they not return to their sovereign, to their old alliances?
Ah, But that's just the point. There have been new alliances made while you've been away. So you must be more subtle and more, let's say, use more wisdom in your choices.
Iolanthra raises her hand and she says, I feel that perhaps now is a good time for our for you companions to perhaps go out on a small expedition into the city to gain the trust of the people, to learn what their reactions may be. Perhaps it is possible to ascertain from the people themselves what might be acceptable to them. You like taverns, do you not, Ren?
I was never a great heaven person, but I have been in many. Yes.
Perhaps some reconnaissance. What do you think? What can be learned from this? Or do you feel that it is a waste of time?
Well, we've still got surprise on our side. So,
At that point, Claresca leans forward. She's like, I agree. We have surprise. Why do not we not take the city? Take it back. What am I to do? Am I to sit outside the city with an army for weeks until some decision is made? This was not
no,
the plan.
no. How can I explain it to you, my queen? The political side of things is most important. The Barakal have influence here now. One of them runs your city.
Well, why do we not march this army into the city, straight to the palace, and cast the Barakyle out as they should be?
We need to establish that you are, in fact, Queen Claresca, the rightful ruler. You haven't been seen publicly in years. The Barakyle will certainly claim that you are an impostor or somewhat how manipulated. A public appearance is good, however, we need to draw the people in behind you. And he starts telling her a story of how Storm marched through the city to his coronation with all the people behind him, and like, so kind of like what we really need to do is we kind of want to even lay the groundwork a little bit for this.
What do you mean by lay the groundwork, says Claresca. How
You
so?
want, when you return to the city openly, you want the people to know that it is you.
Of course.
Let me ask you this. How many of the people on the street would recognize you as who you are at the glance?
I suppose you have a point.
What we need to do is we need to spread rumors that you are returning to the city. We need to tell people, we need to plant people to rile the crowds up, to get them excited so that when they see you at the head of the army, they know it is you.
Perhaps we can reacquaint the people of Vane Gate with the image of our queen somehow.
That is
Yeah.
also a good idea. I think what we need to do is we need to contact a few people of our acquaintance, and we need to plant some people in the crowds to call out your name, call out that it is you, to excite the crowds around them. We need people to run through the streets yelling that you have returned to the city. This is a performance, and I am
You,
Bard.
you need to come back with a triumphant return and people who want to save you. So, yes, I think it's worthwhile seeing what the people want and what they're thinking.
How will we ascertain this?
I know some people that we can ask about this.
Very well.
Don't worry, my queen. There is a certain prince who is also awaiting to claim his throne. He would know.
Claresca, yeah.
He would know exactly how you feel, but sometimes it takes subtlety, and I'm sure you've been taught that.
One of Iolanthra's advisors, one of the clerics, steps forward and she says, "My lady Iolanthra, if I may." And Iolanthra nods to her. She says, "I'm not sure that this is an answer to anything, but it is an interesting point, something to note. Some years passed before Claresca, our sovereign," and she bows to Claresca, vacated our city. I believe, Claresca, you may recall there was a time an artist came to your chambers to sketch your likeness for a coin that was to be produced. The mint never had the opportunity to print the coin, but your likeness, if I'm not mistaken, was taken. Claresca nods. Yes, I remember now. That's true. There was to be a coin, and it did not get printed for. That is when Mother died, and things began to change, and then I left.
Then we should make sure it gets printed.
Yes. Perhaps, says Iolanthra, perhaps we can convince the Regency to print the coin in advance as a sort of remembrance, some kind of how do you say, a token of the memory of our queen before we lost her. If they understand that this is some nostalgic key, they perhaps will not realize
A commemorative coin.
Exactly.
All right. We should put that into action. Sooner.
There is, of course, complexity to the matter.
Which is?
Printing a coin is no easy task, and convincing the Regency to do so would be another not insurmountable, shall we say, not trivial task. But it would put Claresca's face and currency before the people in advance if that was the case. The Dialance returns back to her and she says, "This is true, but then it might take weeks or even months for the coins to circulate."
What if we were to put her face on copper coins and throw them to the crowds from the front of the army?
Perhaps.
It would certainly excite the people.
We still would need to print these coins.
At a game, which artisan tool would be used to make coins?
Well, you would have to make a, what do you call it? A mold, and then pour.
Okay, but so would it fall under Smith's tools?
Yeah, but you'd also need to have like a pretty
Because I'm
complicated
thinking of it involved in
setup.
magic.
Right.
Could you?
Yeah, you could do that.
I mean, could you maybe use fabricate?
What level is fabricate as a spell?
Like a fourth level spell.
Fourth level spell. I'm sure it would speed up the process. I imagine that there's got to be limits to it, though.
Yeah, okay, that seems reasonable. Like, what? Okay, let's say if the coins are stamped, what if we use fabricate to make the blanks?
Right, you could probably do something like that. I mean, you could make batches. That's the thing, though. So you
Yeah.
couldn't make like thousands of them that way. Another idea that Skylar proposes, she says, perhaps it would be easier still to simply have our sovereign's image drawn
We,
upon parchment and nailed to the
we,
doors of every tavern.
we could put up posters.
Precisely. Cheaper than fabrication of coins.
We could also send it to the temples.
Indeed, indeed. We could distribute through Iolanthe returns to, I guess she turns to the three of you. She says, do any of you know Mother's Network?
I know some people in it, and I believe I can get word to them.
It might be an extraordinary way to pass this information about in... Yes.
I was thinking of them. I was also thinking I might pay a visit to a certain dwarf.
Of course. Very well. I think that you have the gist of my concern. Therefore, I feel that I can trust you to go ahead with this. Does that seem reasonable?
Eminently.
Yes.
Very well. I have other duties to attend to then, if you have this in hand. And she'll leave you to borrow her room.
Okay, so
Even though she leaves Skylar there to keep an eye on you so you don't steal all her shit.
all right.
Sornel would only steal her shit for comedic effect.
The
He wouldn't
comedy.
steal anything. He wouldn't steal anything. He would just rearrange things slightly, just like go around moving everything 2 inches to the left.
The comedic part would be Sornel's fall from the 30,000-foot tower. No, just kidding. Okay.
Well, 30,000 foot gives him time to work with it.
30,000-foot tower. Yes,
All
that's
right,
a little bit
so
absurd.
Rin says,
Is the tower
what have
taller
we
at the top than at the
decided?
bottom?
Yes, yes, it is.
I'm glad you got that reference.
I actually don't get the reference, but it sounds absurd. So
It's Discworld.
right, that makes sense. Yep.
Rin grabs an apple
Great. Okay.
and goes, all right, what have we just decided?
We are going to
Liars.
posters such like we are going to spread word of Queen Claresca's return, but we are going to do it carefully. We are going to remind the city of what she looks like.
By putting posters up and who the heck are we going to get to do these coins cruise? I know I can't.
I believe we've set the coins by the wayside for now.
Well, you can make them like commemorative.
Of
Special.
course, but we are not doing that quite yet, though.
Okay. So we're letting the world know that she's coming back.
Seems to be the
Happily.
gist of it.
Yeah.
But we are doing it in ways that can't be directly connected to ourselves.
Okay. All right.
All right. So how do you do it? What do you do? Who do you go and visit? Who do you see? What do you do? How do you fund it? Where are the resources coming from? All that jazz.
Time to take out a loan. We're a little bit tapped for cash, but I think having a bunch of posters made can't be that expensive compared to the scale of income we're able to produce.
For sure, yeah.
And so I think that part's easy enough. I think we can manage the posters.
All right.
I mean, hell, if there's trainee scribes or such like in the temple, we can probably get the temple on it. Would it actually make it better because we can just have all the posters go up the night before, and we're not involving We're limiting the outside people that we get to do it.
All right. So you can get probably a few dozen posters. Um, let's say like 60 posters made up overnight.
We got more time than that anyway, because we got to get the army.
Right. Okay. Yep. So
Yeah.
how do you distribute the posters and where do you have them distributed to?
Um,
And do I need to role play a scene with someone like, for example, I don't know, someone from the undermarket or
I think we basically just.
Drizael?
I think it's probably worth looping Drizael in because I know that he hates the Barakyle, and anything that fucks them over is going to be good in his book.
Right. Okay. All right. So you want to go and see Drizael?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably send word to him that I'd like to drop by with some friends at his convenience.
All right. So we can cut to you go through the gates and you're let in and you find yourself in Drizael's house and
Yeah.
yep. All right. So welcome, friends.
Good to see you, Drizael.
It's been some time.
It's been a while.
How long have you been in Vaingate then?
Oh, I've been in town a little bit of time, but I've been very, very busy.
I was going to say, and you haven't come to see me.
Well, I'm working on a plan to fuck over the Barakyle.
As I said, and you haven't come to see me.
Well, we needed to get certain
Rin
things.
laughed at that.
We needed to get certain things in line first. And
Ah,
but
sneaky, I see. All right.
I'm quite certain that your employee has been keeping tabs on me.
Who knows?
Hmm. In any event, I believe it is now safe to tell you that a certain royal figure has returned to the city and is planning her grand return.
Uh-huh. And that's been in the air for a while now.
Of course, but we needed to take care of the army that was approaching the city. We needed to make certain arrangements.
I see. I imagine that you've come here with some part of a plan that you wish me to assist you with the execution thereof.
Well, Claresca would so like it if the crowds were to recognize her and cheer and get excited so when she returns. So we are making arrangements.
Do you have a time and a date for such an event?
Well, she will be returning at the head of the army, and I give him the time and date we're expected the army to get in.
Okay.
So we are looking to have certain people in the crowds to recognize her and yell out loudly who she is and get the people excited. We are also going to be putting up posters around the place so that people can familiarize themselves with her likeness.
I see. Well, I imagine a wee donation to Moradin would be more than sufficient.
I am quite certain we can arrange something.
When you
see-
say we, my lord, how would that donation be?
Well, paid agitators aren't free, you know.
True.
You have to pay them something.
Yes, of course you do. Yes, of course.
Of course you do. And you can't quite negotiate in advance, so you need leeway.
Of course you do.
So, I'll tell you what. Just to expedite the issue, I'll pay for the agitators. You can owe me a favor.
All right.
I consider myself in your debt, my lord.
Well, it's not that bad, is it?
No.
Worse people to be in debt to, I imagine.
No.
Oh, like
It
some of.
just as a point of fact, you've been here for quite a while since Queen Kreska has been gone. What do you feel the people will think?
That's a good question. I know there's definitely a whole tract of loyalists who would be very pleased to see Queen Claresca return. And that said, I feel that many members of the establishment given up on her, assume that she might be dead. They've moved on. They've found new paymasters. So, whilst I feel that the popularity of the Queen may reside in the people, there might be some resistance from the machinery of power.
The machinery of power.
That is to say, the councils and the guard and various other high officials who might be on the payroll of new masters.
Hey, yes. I'm sure we know which new masters.
They may have once been loyal, but in the absence of the Queen, their loyalty has been perhaps bought. As to whether they can return their loyalty to the Queen, that is another matter.
I imagine that her simple presence will go a long way towards that, though.
Ah, yes, yes. That's true. Particularly if her presence is accompanied by a great power.
Well, there's certainly going to be an army behind her.
Indeed.
Definitely. Definitely an army. Hmm.
I can spread the word. I can.
I was just going to ask you that, my lord. Could you spread the word? And
I can, and I will. But best we be careful. Word
Of
of the
course.
return of the Queen is likely to set off some kind of counter response from our red wizard friends.
yeah, counting on doing just that.
Perhaps I'll begin with spreading this word through quiet channels in order to avoid the onrush of their response.
That would be most fortuitous of you.
Ah, yes, yes, fortuitous. Aye, we can try. Hopefully, we can contain the spread of this information to the highest echelons.
Yes. Right.
The Queen, if I recall, had several allies. I'll make contact with them.
Perhaps you could arrange that we have private meetings with them.
Well, I can try. I can try.
Because
I'm
then
not
we can.
sure that even I can make private meetings with all of them, but messages, certainly, I can handle.
All right. All right. All right. Um, you see, we have to be careful about which ones could be under a certain influence of red color.
Of
Yeah.
course, that is the
Yeah.
primary concern here, my friend. That
Mm.
is precisely the issue at hand. So, I'll reach out to who I can. If I can ascertain a meeting between yourselves and any of these power brokers, I will do so.
Good. Good. Thank you.
Of course.
Good.
Now, time for feasting. And Out comes the food and
Ah,
the
that's what
drink.
I like about these fellas. They give you food. Hey,
They do.
I don't want to tell my mother that after a while her vegetarian stuff just gets a little.
Yeah, like Sornel's like, yeah, I had enough of the vegetarian stuff. Like, I think Sornel just regularly sneaks out of the temple to eat.
There's only so many salads I can take. Um,
Right.
Yeah.
That does.
Okay.
Dragons like lamb.
Right. Okay.
okay.
Mm.
Actually, I know where we got the money from to pay for the bond.
Oh yeah.
Didn't we bring in that harp to sell?
Yeah. You did. You did.
I mean, even if that hasn't sold, we could use that as like collateral.
Collateral. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. You could do that. You could do that.
Yep.
I might just go and grab a snack, if you don't mind. Just be 1 second.
Yummy, yummy lamb. Remember Dragonheart?
Mm,
When the dragon comes up out of the water and he sees the sheep, he's like, yummy.
yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, okay. We seem to be heading in the right direction, people. What do you think?
Seems like it.
Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I heard you.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
You hear me?
Yep. Okay, so we're basically gonna give them the news bit by bit.
Yeah, so we have a plan for it to like basically seep out.
Cool, cool. And they can't blame us.
What's this about blaming you?
Well,
Want me to blame you for something?
if we're subtle enough, they can't blame us.
Mhm. Okay. So you feast with Giselle,
Mm.
Yeah.
and there is much lamb and meat and and food that you've been craving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some dwarven broth, some breads, and so
Mm,
on. And yes, so Giselle agrees to try and organize some meetings with you if he can, or otherwise pass messages and start to disseminate the knowledge that Queen Claresca will be arriving in the city in a couple of days.
yeah.
Okay. Um, having had this meeting, what's your next course of action?
Um,
Um,
get word to Mother's Network to basically have the same conversation with Milford.
Hmm. Okay. So, Milford Brixton.
what you doing?
Milford, how do you find these miscreants?
Well, and have I already heard that they want to talk to me about something?
I imagine so.
Okay. Oh, they do they? Yeah. Well, I wait for them to come out of their little hideout.
All right. So, if they're going to go and meet Milford,
Yeah.
um, how do they contact Milford?
Sornel just goes out looking for somebody from Mother's network he recognizes and just has them pass the message on.
They laugh at you because Milford Brixton is dead.
I don't give them the name Milford Brixton. I just say that, send this message to the top.
Okay.
And I give them a coin to do so.
All right.
Okay.
So, Milford, where do you want to meet them? Do you want to meet them at your boat?
Oh yeah, I'll meet them at the boat because it's been moved again.
I was going to say that because that's a pain. Because I was going to say that one way they could contact him might be to like leave a message on his boat or at his boat.
Hmm.
Um, but if you move the boat, well, they can't do that. But still, okay.
No,
You can.
no.
How do you tell them where you are?
I'll tell you what.
Mm.
I'll give them a pigeon.
Mm.
I give them a pigeon, and they can put a note on the pigeon
So
and
we just
just let
keep
it
the
go.
pigeon at the temple, I guess?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so with your pigeon, then you are able to make a meeting time and place, and so let's say it's at the boat. It makes sense, right? Unless you want to meet somewhere else, just for the sake of it.
Nah, he'll you know he'll meet them at a place and take them to the boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So long story short, then you meet them at a place and take them to the boat, and now you're on the boat.
No, you two are three. Okay. Okay. Now tell me, what did you want?
Well, we need to arrange a spectacle for when Claresca returns to the city officially.
So she's coming back, is she?
Yes.
That is the case.
There's a lot of people that ain't gonna like that.
Oh yes, we mean to piss them off.
Oh, you mean the fellas in red there?
Among others. Anything that
Oh,
pisses
count
them
me
off,
in right now. Yeah,
I had a
count
feeling
me
you
in
might say
right
that.
now. Right. What do you want me to do? Or my people to do?
Well, we need to refamiliarize some of the people with her appearance, especially now that it's been a few years. So we would like to have some of these posters put up around the city on the doors of some of the taverns and such like. The the early in the morning before she arrives, so they have time to see them, but not enough time for our opposition to do much about it.
I'll see what you mean. Yes, I can do that for you. Well, not me personally, but I got people that'll do that.
Hmm.
How much are we getting for this little charity that you're giving?
I s-
It wouldn't hurt you to talk in gold. It helps people motivate
ah
themselves. You know what I mean?
Talking gold, very well. And then Sornel just like reaches into a bag and just like passes some coins from hand to hand, so they're kind of clinking. Do you mean that sort of talk?
Oh, that's a beautiful sound to my ears. You know that. I love it when that sound comes in. But I was thinking, instead of giving me gold, give me a little bit, a little tiny bit. And, I have to make sure my people get paid. But also, could I speak to the lady in question at some point?
Until the time of her appearance, she's not leaving the temple, so you would need to meet her there, but I believe it could be arranged.
Oh, that would be good because, I've been wondering, my people pretty much have this city covered. And she needed, shall we say, people to get our information, we wouldn't mind being a part of that little trick, you see, for a small price. And the honor of serving our queen, you know.
Of course, the honor of serving the queen.
Of course. Of course. Okay. Oh, I like the idea that that pigeon works, by the way.
I am quite certain that you do.
It's not
Did
broken.
did I tell you its name? That's Henrietta, you know. Okay. All right. Consider it done.
Ah, so good to know that.
Do you want my people to try and keep an eye on the Barrack Isle to see if we can hear any of their movements?
That's not a terrible thought. Just make sure your people stay safe. You know what those bastards are like.
Yeah, I know what those bastards are like, but they have no idea what I'm like. Okay. All right. I'll do that for you.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Russell, can I add something? You can say no if you want. It's just a bit of humor.
Well, I have to know what it is.
Or, you know, that fight with the Barracuda, it was good to watch. You know, but you got to keep your left up. I'm telling you.
You were there.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not personally.
Well, you know, no, he was there,
Was he?
but
Okay.
he watched it.
You were there, you didn't help?
Well, you know,
No, I don't know.
you were doing so well, I didn't want to interrupt, you know.
No, the more the merrier.
Oh, okay, but okay, if it's the more the merrier. How much?
How much what?
I mean, do I get paid per person I kill, or do I get paid by the body part that I kill?
How do you kill a body part?
Oh, don't worry about that. That's for me to worry about. But you did a good job, especially that good-looking one. What's he? What's
You
his
mean the,
name?
the the one that was covered in spikes?
Well, no, not him. No, I kept away from him. I tell you what, he's dangerous.
They're all dangerous. That's the
Yeah.
whole point.
Mm. And milady, you did wonderfully. You did wonderfully. I
Mhm.
like that little flying bit.
Well, thank you.
That was good. That was good. You know, you look really good when you're up there and you go. So, now we've established that I see most things. Um, I'll get to doing what you want me to do.
Oh, good. Thank you very much.
All right.
And I'll
So
tell
no,
you what, I won't even charge your emperor. I'll let him off this time.
So generous of you.
I know. That's what they say about me. I'm not a good leader because I'm so generous. You guys better get going.
Hmm. Very well then.
hmm.
Another time then.
Another time, my friend.
Another time, another place, McLeod. Sorry, Highlander.
I know.
I'm in
Okay.
disguise. This way, no one will recognize me. Anyway, okay. So you go back to where? What do you do? You've met with Milford. He's going to do the flyering business. Is that the case, or
Yeah. I'll
no?
just hand it out amongst my people and say, stick it where it can be seen, but don't be seen doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's happening as you guys go back to the temple, I assume, or whatever it is you're going to do.
Mm,
No?
I suppose, yeah.
Okay.
So that's him, huh? Interesting.
Yes.
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him before issue.
Well,
He
he's
looks like he'd
pretty.
sell his own
Uh,
grandmother.
I don't know. You look pretty strong. I think you could throw him pretty far. He was not that big.
I think you should fight him.
That would be fun. I would watch that.
There should be a fight between Milford and Ren.
It would be fun to like. That would actually be an interesting thing. Like simulate our characters, some of our characters, just like fighting each other, just to see how it shakes out.
Right.
But poor old Russell would have to do that
No, no,
too.
no.
You guys play your characters in an arena.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The trouble for me is like when one of you gets killed, then I have to actually like rule on it, and that sucks.
Mm.
Okay. There
Doesn't
is
have
a
to be
way.
to death.
Yeah. It's not to the death, and it's like
Yeah.
basically it's like yeah. It's if somebody's on death saves.
Hang
Well,
on, wait a minute, And Ren starts to check his pockets and stuff, and
Fair.
it's all there. It's all there. Yep.
All right, so you're heading back down through the city,
Mm.
heading on your way back to the Daughters of Twilight. I'll get perception checks from each of you, please.
Dirty 20.
30, 20.
And
Uh,
Ren is looking for trouble at this point.
all right.
I'm
That's it.
obviously distracted.
You're distracted? Okay, so we've got a 14, a 30, 20, and a completely distracted.
13.
13? Oh, it's not much worse than Ren then. Um, I would suspect that whilst you are on alert, there are moments during that being on alert that you know, are talking to each other and what have you, which is why with the 14 and the 13, perhaps Lissa and Ren are having a conversation at that moment. And Tannel, you become aware that there is a figure in a robe following you. It's female. It looks like a slight figure, as in possibly human or possibly elf. They have what seems to be a fairly routine, or should I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Nondescript robe. But their belt and their bag give you the impression that they have maybe some noble connections.
Can I do an investigation check on him?
Sure. What are you investigating for?
Any symbols or indications of connections beyond what I've already noticed?
Okay. Yep, make your investigation check.
11. They've done a good job of hiding it, but it seems we are being followed.
Mm. Okay. Shall we just keep going and act like we haven't seen him go around this corner and then wait round the corner?
All right. Do you like hide in an alley or something like that?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Um, so when you're hiding in this alley, waiting for this person to sort of go past you, you can make new perception checks.
No.
18 for Ren, 12 for Lissa.
Yep.
Okay. So Lissa and Tannel, you're like at looking down the alleyway waiting for this person to go past. Ren, you hear something behind you and you turn around and that person is walking up the alley behind you towards you.
My lord.
She casts back her hood, revealing that she is in fact not a lord, but a lady. She steps forward and she says, "Greetings, travelers. My name is Aradia Saradu. I represent some interests here in Vaingate who are interested in you. Would you like to know more?"
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
"Perhaps then you will follow me, and I will introduce you to some of the most powerful individuals in the city."
Uh, Obviously, I'm going to do an insight check on her.
Obviously.
I'll
Yeah, she seems trustworthy. That's a nat one.
Oh,
detect good and evil.
detect good and evil.
I
Um,
got 7.
you got a 7. Okay. You can't tell anything. Um, detect good and evil.
I think he means divine sense.
Yeah, divine
Right. So
sense.
you're
Sorry.
sensing uh, all the bad things.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Um, 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 no, you don't get anything from that. There's no immediate pings of anything particularly bad or monstrous or demonic or fiendish or fayish
Uh, okay. Okay.
Draconic?
or draconic for that matter.
Mm,
Yeah.
No,
uh,
draconic.
Okay. Um.
I guess
Ex
we follow her.
All right.
yes.
So she
Please.
turns back down the alleyway whence she came, expecting you to follow her, and
Yeah.
assume you do. Tanner, are you following as well?
Yep.
Yep. All right. So she leads you down towards the Droob, funnily enough. And you get to the Droob, and you seem to be heading towards the bridge that goes across to Grenaldea. When she stops and makes a turn in the market to the left and
Yeah.
cuts out of the off the main road before you get to the marketplace and
Uh-huh.
heads round into a cluster of buildings at the back of the main market square. Tannel, you can make a history check.
Is this the Market Dozen building?
It is. Do you know?
I'm going to use my inspiration to re-roll that. Seven.
You haven't figured it out yet, but I think Tannel, it becomes obvious when you get to the back of the door of the building. Where were you when that whole thing went down? You were like across the street and up an alleyway, weren't you?
Yeah, but then because I heard the commotion, I ran around to the back of the building.
Right. So what did you see? What do you remember?
I remember. Well, I blasted the door open to get them out, so I did see the entryway.
Okay, so she seems to be leading you to this back door at the back of this three-story building. Um,
Hmm.
it appears to be a warehouse from two different sides, and the front of it there is a trader from some far-off place with a turban, and he's got like a tent type structure out the front of the building. Um, you see a cat as you're walking around towards the back door.
Hmm.
It's got some
I
fur missing off its tail.
I look at the cat and I'm just like, Rurikon? Because he turned into a cat that time.
That's true. Um, and the cat looks at you and goes and runs off.
Yes.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
Um, in any case, she gets to the back door of the building and she opens it. It appears quite dark inside, and she ushers you to step in.
I do see a magical darkness, so.
Okay.
Uh,
Then what you see
Look at me.
disturbs you.
what do I see then?
You see a room forming.
I'm getting sphincter vibes, but I got a nat one on my insight check, so
Sphincter vibes. That'd be quite the thing to hear out of context. Um,
uh
all right. Barry, do you go in
Um, I check for that one
for
that
that
checks for bad. I'll do that
gonna
again.
fire off another divine sense.
divine
Yeah,
sense? Okay, this time your divine sense goes
okay. It's all bad.
And what specifically is he sensing?
all the
Yeah.
things, pretty much.
What, Fey and Fiend and Celestial?
Quite possibly. It's confusing. There's some shit in here. Um,
Hang on. Wait a minute. I back off. And I go, there's
she's
some.
she stops at the door. It is safe. I am sure of it. You have my word.
And whose word do we have again?
Aradia Saradu of Thantafaksath. I am one of the market dozen.
I had a feeling you were that was what the group you were taking us to. I did not realize you were a member.
Curious. Please, if you wish to meet us, follow. Our security is extreme.
Yes, I would not like to test it.
It would not be advised.
Very well then. And I step in.
All right.
All right. I'll step into then if he's going in.
All right. You step in with Tannel.
Yep.
Alyssa,
Yep.
you're still outside. Do you step in? You're on mute, or I can't hear you anyway. But I can guess that you said that you stepped in.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Okay.
What's the matter with this thing?
So you step into this dark space, and then the door closes behind you, and it slowly begins to glow inside. And you are now in a small room at the bottom of a set of stairs that goes up in front of you. On your right-hand side, there is a table that has a book and a quill and a small well of ink. And Aradia, she stops and she writes her name in the book. And then she turns to the next person and she looks at you and she says, please, if you will. A guest log.
Of course. And Sornel is going to write down Tannel Winterbreeze, which is technically one of his actual names.
The
And
letters burn off the paper. Like ash floats up and away.
Is that supposed to happen?
That is not your true name, is it?
I have had multiple true names throughout my existence.
You will need to
what
write
does it-
your truest name,
I suppose that would be my oldest one then.
perhaps. The book apparently does not like your current.
Well, I don't like the person who gave it to me, so that is reasonable. And he writes down Valemir Sornel.
That's your oldest name?
Yes.
It seems to hold. Okay. Barry, what do you write in the book?
I write down Ren, and I use my father's.
Your real
thingamajig.
father's name?
Yeah.
All right, so it's fucking. Why is my brain skipping? But yeah, okay. Leanne Horn? No, not Leanne Horn. Lian Kai, something like that.
Yeah.
Lankael?
Lankale, that's it.
Lankale.
Okay.
Lankale.
All right, so you write that in, and that sticks. And Lissa.
It's a manual. This should be interesting.
The writing burns away.
Oh boy.
And Aradia looks at you for a moment. She says, I'm afraid you will need to use your true name.
Nora Singh.
All right, that sticks.
I mean, I'm imagining the characters aren't even in common.
Right?
Yeah, Nora Singh.
You're writing in Draconic. Right.
Yeah.
Draconic.
So in Sornel's case, the letters he writes down are in like very, very, very old Elvish.
Okay. All right then. The stairway up ahead of you sort of almost pulses and extends up several flights and up into the magical darkness that seems to even hinder your ability to see through it with blind sight.
It's
or dark vision.
Devil sight.
Devil sight. But what you do see is that wrapping around the corridor with the stairs, there seems to be all kinds of plants and vegetation sort of sticking out into the passageway as it leads up.
A most curious space you have here.
It is, isn't it? She says, perhaps you, being learned, would be aware of the phrase, it is a demiplane.
That explains much.
She begins to go up the stairs ahead of you. And I assume you're going to follow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, the stairs go up and they wind a little bit, and then eventually they come out into a room that is kind of more like a cave grotto that has a pool in the center of it, and there's a number of what appear to be nobles sitting around what is a fairly comfortable looking table with a few servants standing about, wrapped up head to foot. And these individuals all kind of turn and look at you as you enter. And she says, I should like to introduce, and she introduces you by the names that you signed as you came in the door. And a group of about probably 10 or 12 people are in here altogether.
Mm.
She says, allow me to introduce you to Halinor Brigantine, Jasper Winehart, Goran Lockworthy, Under Marshal Ainslaw, Lord Orem of Umbwenor, and you may know Zuka Idabaz. This is Lord Gareth, Minstrelsy, Xenophea Karnai of Charasith. You know myself, Aradia Saradu of Thantafaxatath. In here, meet Fenok Tolden of Zamradial, Lishana Skarsgard of Ankhorn, Nestor Peleus of Thrain. We are the Market Dozen.
I have
Sure to
heard
meet you.
I've heard stories of the Market Dozen. Everything is shrouded, but everything about you is shrouded in mystery. It is good to finally meet you officially. And I'm looking at like the certain people that I've actually encountered outside of this when I say that.
Right. Fair. Ezeban, who you have met.
We've also met under Marshal Ainsley at Ainslaw, whatever, at the Regency.
Yeah. They rise and they bow to you as you come in, and they offer you seats. Servants come and try and plaster you with with dishes of food and so on and so forth. They have an enormous wealth concentrated in this group.
Mm.
What's his face? Zuka Edibaz. He says, "It is so good to see you again, my lords, and curious to find you here. Well, have you not come far?"
Well, someone was gracious enough to extend us an invitation.
Yes, yes, indeed. No doubt you have questions for us, as we have questions for you. And one of the others, the one that they said was his name was Nestor, he turns to Zuka. He says, "Enough from you, Zuka. I wish to meet them myself. I am Nestor Peleus of Thrain."
At a game, where is Thrain in Sidario? I don't see
Uh,
it on the map.
Thrain is north of Vaingate. It's like a landmass that sort of protrudes out into the ocean north of
Oh,
Vaingate.
okay, yeah, yeah,
Kind of
okay. I see it now. I see it now. It just confused me because Thrain is also a country in Eberron, and I
right.
was just like
Click, click.
getting my gears crossed.
That's fair.
Okay, I see it on the map now.
Thrain must be one of those names that just ends up in every fiction.
I guess.
That's Shakespeare actually, so that makes
Oh,
sense.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So it seems you are involved in some cross-political faction activity, my friends.
That is true. There have been a lot of disruptions of late, and it seems to me that whenever there's disruptions, regardless of which side of the table you're on, there are those who stand to benefit.
As you're talking, one of the members of the market dozen sitting on the other side of the table does a massive snort of black powder off the table. um, Another member of the group leans forward and she says, "You have distinguished yourselves among the citizenry and perhaps even among the peoples of the world, having come this far. You bring an army from Dagdagail. You are clearly connected to the Emperor."
At a game, I feel like Christina should have a bit more screen time.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying anything.
Very well. She locks eyes with you, Christina.
Well, Christina is officially a member of the Assembly of Princes, so.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Yes, we are. We know the Emperor.
I see. And do you speak for the Emperor?
Yes, I am a part of the Assembly of Princes.
They look to one another, and you know what? You can make insight checks.
Okay.
Making it for you, Barry. Your insight is at +5. Saunal rolled a 16. Alyssa rolled a 13. Barry rolled a 7. What was the highest there? Was it a 16?
Yeah.
And that was Tannel, yeah?
Mm.
Tannel, you are able to tell that they are either telepathically or otherwise communicating with each other. At least some of them are. You see the sort of exchange of looks between them, and it's almost like, one looks at the other, and then there's a nod of compliance and understanding. And yes, okay. She says, rising, I understand we are in the presence of great individual. This one, Lady Lissa, my friends, is said to have the patronage of a silver dragon. Is that true?
Yes, it is.
We have heard rumors that you yourself appeared before the Council of Dagdagile as a dragon. Is that true?
As a dragon. I had my wings out.
So it is true, and there's another kind of murmur that goes through the group. Well, we are in a great presence then. You will forgive any mysteries that we have presented in order to maintain our secrecy. And we
It is understandable.
thank you for your understanding and compassion in the matter. There is a rumor about the city that you are in contact with the Queen Claresca of Scartabel. If that were to be true, it could cause something of a matter of friction in the city, within Moldrea, perhaps even the world. Have you considered these facts? I'm sure you have.
We have. What would be the reaction of your group if she were to show up?
They look about each other, and then they all turn their eyes on one individual. One second. They turn to look at the one that they introduced as Helena Brigantine. And she says, I will speak for the market dozen. I have been elected speaker in this matter. Our brethren, our brotherhood, if you will, we are a group of enterprising individuals within Vaingate, and we are sworn to uphold the markets and trade of our diverse realms. Vaingate is a nexus of trade in our world, and so we seek to protect the markets that meet here and converge. A melting pot, if you will. In this room, our political factions are secondary to our guidance of commerce.
Then, if I may, as I understand it, there's been certain stagnations of late in the markets. Perhaps we could assist you in revitalizing those.
And how might you assist in those ways?
By addressing factors that are, at least assisting you in addressing factors in things that are slowing things down, clogging the wheels and such like, encouraging trade.
Yes. These seem useful and acceptable concepts, thoughts to have. We are more curious about your intentions, however. It seems that you have a queen in your wings. This might not be public information yet, but we have means of knowing these things. Our question is what your intentions are once you install your queen. This will decide greatly how much assistance we can offer.
A rising tide lifts all ships. We wish to return to her that which is her birthright, and protect her from those who would harm her. And as such, I, for one, should like to see the lot of everyone improved by this. I would like to see it so that even the poorest have more money to spend, so they are not simply surviving on bread, but can afford even some small luxuries.
Zuka responds, I see. The rising tide. All boats rising on the tide, yes. Yeah. Certainly a most noble of principles, indeed. However, I must, on behalf of my countrymen, put forward one theory that we hold in Barakile. That is that one must be careful how many boats rise on the tide. The tide can cause a great deal of clutter if there are too many boats on the same levels, especially if they pertain to the machinery of government. You see, too many boats might cause them to start colliding with each other. Best then to have perhaps layers of boats, fishing boats, perhaps all the way at the bottom, in a way that they are less likely to clog our plans.
What you're describing is the boats on top crushing the ones below. Why
Oh,
not
barely. There are
spread?
so many boats below to hold the line.
If you try piling boats on top of each other instead of setting them afloat on the sea, then no one gets anywhere, and the whole thing turns into a congested mess of ropes and wood.
Under Marshal Ainslaw chips in to say, I believe what Zuka here is saying, my lord, is that too much affluence among the lower classes leads to rebellion. They tend to pull their coin in ways that can cause greater conflicts that must be resolved. Rebellions, resistances, minor factions, and small private armies in the hands of buccaneers and thieves. This cannot be tolerated.
And so, what is the market dozen specifically looking for in this instance? Besides simple profits, I mean.
We should like an assurance that the markets shall not be interfered with, and that the individuals of the market dozen shall retain their immunity.
We cannot speak for her, but we shall certainly. We shall present your case and speak in your favor to her.
Ah, yes. Well, perhaps when you have done so, you may send us a message or even return. We would be interested. You see, the answer to this question will very much influence how support for the new regime will be meted out.
In any event, I imagine with the knowledge of the situation you possess that you will all find ways to make it work in your favor. But yes, we will encourage her to see things from your point of view.
Most excellent, most excellent. Here, have some caviar. This is from the distant land of Zamradile. The fishermen there have this peculiar method of gathering these tiny fish eggs. They are splendid if you smear them as so. Explains how to eat caviar.
So,
Out of game, basically the reason Sornel is saying that we should go with this is because he doesn't believe that Claresca's reign is going to be stable enough to fight a war on multiple fronts, and having at least not the backing of the Market Dozen, but the Market Dozen not siding with her enemies
Right.
is worth presenting their offer to her as like something that she should go with.
Right. Incidentally, it's very clear in this room that Zuka, he's not disguised as anything but a Barakyle. He is clearly a Barakyle, a high wizard of some description.
Yeah.
So you're nobody's pretending anything in this room by the looks of it. At least not obviously. Yeah. Okay.
all right. My lord Zuka,
Yes.
you are Barakal, are you not?
Indeed, indeed, my friend. Have you been? A wondrous country. Very different to here. I do miss the red hue of the sky.
Yes, I haven't had the pleasure of seeing that.
Ah, we shall arrange it for you.
Mhm.
An official trip, as a diplomat, perhaps. We can introduce you to the high councils. Come with us to Barakyle, and I'll take you to the capital.
And how long have you been here, my lord?
Oh, many years, my friend, many, many years.
Yeah.
Several decades now.
I understand your people have a prophecy that they follow.
You see his face change very slightly when you say that. I'm going to make a insight check for you. Insight, +5. That is an 11. Okay.
Ah,
Well, you can see that that's affected him, but you're not sure quite how. You could probably guess.
are you a follower of this prophecy?
It is not my place to speak of our internal affairs, my lord, but I will say that I am a model citizen.
A model citizen. Huh. Yes. Well, may I say it's been a pleasure talking to you.
I represent the wealthy elite of Barakyle, as perhaps as you may have come to assume all of our nobility are as degenerate as the ones that you might have seen in foreign places. But I rest assured our country is not all made up of such corrupt individuals. For the most
My
part, we are,
lord, there are good and bad in every nation.
of course,
Yes.
precisely my point.
Yes.
Yes. And this lord of yours, this cat, this Tabashi, there are some that say this creature is an abomination. No doubt you have a different opinion, but perhaps you might have time or care to explain how this singular cat lord has taken your city against what seems to us many millennia of tradition, family lines and bloodlines. It has been mentioned in closed circles that it is very possible your emperor is a spy.
I assure you, he is not that.
A spy for who exactly?
Who can tell? It has been said there are fiends of a likeness to this emperor, individuals with feline features and tails and paws, claws, and the magical ability to change their appearance.
Uh, I have spoken to somebody who mentioned such creatures, but we have checked, and Storm is not a fiend.
And you are certain of this? Can you be?
Yes.
We have
Very,
had multiple
very certain.
paladins check.
Multiple
But
paladins.
I I
Hmm?
imagine it's the same as you hear about the Barakhan, that they have ways of controlling people. Of course, all these things are just rumors, very much like. And of course, we pay them no mind because it would be totally ridiculous for a whole country to manipulate an entire world to follow a prophecy, if it was true. But as you've already stated, that obviously isn't the case.
Out of
Right.
game, Barry, do you have inspiration? Oh, you do. That's a shame because that was brilliant.
But that obviously isn't the case, my lord.
You clearly have stumped him.
And if we're talking about ridiculous rumors, there is also a story going around saying that the Barakhail are taking orcs from the Angkor Ma'ak and combining them with fiends. Preposterous, isn't it?
Preposterous. Preposterous.
It's
In no
ridiculous.
uncertain terms, ridiculous.
Of
Oh,
course. Of
you
course.
do you know the funniest and weirdest thing I've heard about the Barakal that can't be true?
You're gonna make
That
another insight check.
Yeah. Can I make an insight check as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, you can all make insight checks. Oh, Barry, you got 20.
they put worms
21.
into people's heads so that they can take control of them. How ridiculously preposterous is that, my lord?
What did you get, Lissa?
21.
21, and Tanel got a 21.
No, I got a 30.
Oh, you got a 30. Okay. All right. To the three of you, it's quite clear that you are just basically punching holes in him and demolishing him in front of everybody, completely humiliated him, and he's like got nothing. And so he he's trying to save face, but
Oh,
there's nothing he can say to even save face at this point. He's just
I kind of feel like throwing him a bone.
okay.
Well, I actually, one person I met who has been to Barakyle, he did say something interesting, although the names don't mean anything to me. Perhaps you would know them.
Oh,
He said someone called Palace, someone had been interfering with Rosamund Ashford, causing her to lose her position. I don't know who those people are.
out of game. Where was this?
Cinder, Palace Core, Palace Core had him do a bunch of shit to her.
That's right. That's right.
So basically, like Sornel's playing a little dumb, but he's like, I don't know which faction this guy is on, but I'm giving him some ammunition to stir shit in Barakyle.
Right.
You do, and that's the thing I'm talking about. Too many rumors can be a bad thing, can't they, my lord? I
Ah,
mean,
the
if
rumor mills.
if even half of that was true, your friends wouldn't be able to trust you because you might put a worm in their head. I mean, how ridiculous. How ridiculous.
Yes, yes, ridiculous, ridiculous, yes.
Yeah.
Now, the matter of Claresca.
Of course. Of course.
Let us turn our attentions to the near term.
Of course. Yeah,
When do
let
you
us-
think his army is likely to arrive?
Well, I'm quite certain that we can tell you, and as the Regency already knows, that I am quite certain you have heard some word. And we give him the estimated date when it's going to arrive.
Okay. Very good. Most excellent. Various other people probably will ask you some smaller, less important questions about details and things, and this goes on for a little while. Is there anything you want to ask them?
Hmm. Um, no, there's nothing I can think of. I think I Ren's put his 2 cents worth in.
All right. Then what's their face? Helena, she says, before we invited you to our little council meeting, we decided that it would be jurisprudent to prepare a gift for the Queen. Let us say it is from all of us. If you would be prepared to pass on our well wishes and perhaps our gifts, we have parceled them together, and she indicates towards a chest in the corner. Incidentally, Ren, if your detect good and evil is still running,
Oh, yeah.
this chest is not some kind of fiend. It is, I don't know if you can detect magic, but it's not a fiend at the very least.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't think it's a mimic. It's
Okay.
not going to turn into a carriage and try and eat you.
Okay. Okay.
Sorrel
I
does
was
not have
thinking
that
that
benefit,
way.
so he's kind of like squinting at it like,
Yeah.
forgive me, I'm reminded of a strange creature that I encountered once that took the appearance of a chest and tried to eat one of my companions.
Please don't insult us.
I would not insult you, I am just... a memory came to mind.
Of course.
Oh, I am definitely sure that that is nothing of a kind, my friend. After all, I think we have come to an understanding.
Indeed, indeed. Another one of the lords kicks into the conversation. This is Lord Oram of Ambuinor, and he says, historically, we have not had any such encounters with Dagdegile in the past, not for a very long time. Not, well, until most recently. Now it has been twice. Twice you have sent armies to our lands, and now you seek to what? Recompense? Now you offer your services, and now you have made a compact with the Queen who is lost. The world has moved on since Claresca. Vaingate is a new city. Claresca has no place here now. Why do you not just send her away? Keep her in a castle somewhere. She can be happy.
My lord, how would you feel if I took everything that you knew, everything that you believed in,
Oh,
away from you? How would
this
that
is
make
not
you feel?
about my feelings, fellow. This is about the state of the Empire.
This is about
The mere feelings of a girl mean nothing to me.
They mean nothing to you? What of your grandchildren?
Compared to the well-being of the Empire and all that live within it, all the plebeians, the nobles, everyone. The peasants, the farmers? How will they react? What is the need for this needless upheaval?
My lord, everybody must change with the times.
There is peace in Muldrea. There is peace. Why would you bring an army here and then seek to depose? Who is now our rulers? They appear to be doing a fine job. There is no crime on the streets. Gangs do not roam wildly as they once did.
At a game, is there any merit to what he's saying about the gangs and crime, right?
You can make a history check.
22.
Actually, he's kind of a little bit right. There seems to be more control and agreement among the gangs.
It is true that the crime rate has decreased in recent times. However, I do not believe that the gangs have been suppressed, merely that they are more organized.
They cannot be suppressed. Besides, if we were to suppress the gangs of Fadegate, half of this room would be in ruins.
That I see what you are. In that case, if half the gangs of Vane Gate are in control of this room, then what is the issue? Simply use that half that you are affiliated with to control those you are not.
We're being advised, do you see?
I do have some centuries of experience.
Silence, Umbunor. This Tannel Winterbreeze, as he has been known to call himself, does come from Dagdagile's court. They are not fools there. Clearly, he has a greater story to tell at some time, perhaps in his future. We shall not demand it of you now.
My lord, I come from a time when I knew nothing of my lineage, nothing of who I really was. And there was always part of me that was missing. Your lineage is who you are. Your family is who you are.
Now, this rhetoric, my friend, is well and good and keeps one feeling very safe in one's castle.
And I discovered, my lord, that I was a prince and that my father was a war hero. And I had a right to discover that and a right to find that. And I have a right to live that. And everybody has a right to live the way they should and know who they come from.
All this speaking of rights, says, what's his face? The Barakyle guy, Adabaz, that guy. I say his name was?
Edibaz, yeah. Zucker.
Zucker, yeah. All this speaking of rights, my lord. You sound as if you have been studying the prayer books. It is my contention that these rights you mention are the works of man and not the works of God.
And speaking of prayer books, my lord, I understand that you study a prayer book and follow it to its full degree. Does that make you wiser?
I cannot educate you in the full corpus of the Barakyle's studies in one conversation, my lord, so I shall not seek to.
My point exactly.
If that is your point, I fail to understand it.
My point is, You follow away and I follow. And all the Queen wants is to live the life that she's entitled to.
Let us all put it another way, says the first lady that you met outside Aradia. Everyone in this room, as you are no doubt acutely aware, has their own agenda. The dozen work together. Holding back the agendas of our factions, we choose to work together, placing our mutual bonds above the needs of our, shall we say, benefactors? Is that the word? In any case, we seek to know you better so that you may work more comfortably with us and vice versa. It would be our great honor to serve the Queen, but under the aegis of secrecy, for the market dozen have existed for, well, for centuries, and we have maintained a face of invisibility to the public. Our existence is not something that needs to be understood by others, only that we hold the invisible hand of the markets so that they may flourish and so that all may benefit. We have rules. We're not completely corrupted to greed, she says, looking at the others quite sternly. Even Lord Edibaz here, she points pointedly at him, has sworn to the market dozen a loyalty that precedes even his loyalty to the Barakyle. Is that not true, Lord Ezebaz? And he bows and nods. It is true. Perhaps then you, friends, may consider such a binding oath of loyalty above that of your factions, nations, and countries. It is a loyalty to the people, to the free world.
I will say that I do seek to protect this world from the oncoming threat, and I stare pointedly at Edibaz like, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to see how I'm curious to see if anybody, how.
Make an insight.
Yeah, basically, like, who else gets what I'm talking about?
Yep, make an insight check.
That is 19.
Probably half of them seem to get off the bat.
Okay. That is my greatest concern right now. And that is what I am working to prevent.
I believe our guest speaks of the Parkard Stone's return. You have no doubt all heard stories of rocks from the sky, of recent, all about the world. We call these rocks the Pilot Stones. This prophecy has begun to unfold, and it shall be very difficult to stop. But let me say this to you, Mr. Tannel Winterbreeze, as a member of the Market Dozen, my priority extends beyond the prophecies of the Barakyle in this matter. There are some things I am prepared to collaborate upon.
Very well. I see your position, and again, I am clarifying what my priority is.
Of course. There may be times when the Barakaile's activities and movements may be confusing to others, and perhaps if you were to seek special counsel with myself, I may be in a position to clarify, sometimes even in advance.
I shall certainly bear that in mind.
I should like to show you something, says Zuka. I should like you all to see, in fact. Do you witness? He looks about the room and everyone's like, aye, aye. He takes out from in his robe a small jar. He puts it on the table. He says, this was my gift from the Barakile, one I have chosen to reject. And he smashes this little tube of made out of hardened mud or something like that, like crockery. And it smashes, and inside it there is this dead worm.
I see.
Those are quite troublesome little things, aren't they?
Yes. But I feel it is imperative to note that I do not report to others.
Understood.
Now, our conversation has meandered in many different directions. We have ascertained the timeliness of things. We have considered the motives at hand, and we have discussed objectives and rewards. I feel perhaps this meeting is ready to come to a close.
Yes,
How
my
do you
lord.
feel, my guests?
Yes. I feel what has been said has been said.
Most excellent. You are welcome to stay for some time if you wish to indulge yourselves in any number of activities.
I thank
As
you for your generous offer, but I believe we have preparations that we must embark on.
Are you sure? I have some Fried Zargant, very special ones you might like.
I am quite certain my wife would not approve.
Oh, as you will, of course.
and I must remain sober of mind and body, my lord.
Of course. See how noble they are. Of course, we must trust them.
Oh, and Sorna will just add one little thing just before we leave.
Yeah?
Oh, and as I'm quite certain some of you may surmise from your entry book, the name I put in there was not one taken from the modern tradition. I got that name by right the old way. Because he did put his last name as Sornel in the book.
Right.
So he's just going to leave them with that head scratcher.
Fair enough. Okay. Alyssa, do you have anything you want to add? No? Cool.
She wants discretion on her name, not go outside the walls.
Fair. Yeah. You have guarantees that nothing's spoken or any information that has been transferred or learned in this space shall get outside these walls, at least not by any means besides your own.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, it seems like a good place for us to wrap up then, as you are ejected out onto the street. And the door closes behind you and you hear it lock. Cat goes, meow.
It's your kitty friend.
I'm going to say it comes up and it acts very friendly to you, Tannel. Out of game, maybe it is Urkan. Maybe it is, but no one will ever know.
And if it wasn't, and even if it was, nobody would ever believe me.
Exactly. And he's never going to change out of a cat form, so he's not going to do anything. But maybe it is. Okay, cool. So how did that go?
I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah. I thought that was very political. I enjoyed it.
Cool. Cool. Alyssa, you're very quiet though. I have to poke you more. Poke. Make you talk.
Yeah, don't forget you're my representative.
No. Exactly. All right.
I don't know. Maybe you don't hear me because of my mic.
Could be it. I hope not.
Yeah, your mic was coming through quite quiet at times.
Yeah.
I don't know which way to turn the thing. That seems to be better.
It's good right now. How it is right now is good. So
yeah,
keep that locked
really
in.
good.
Yeah. All right, we're going to stop recording. Thank you.